Hello.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Point Park Esports here in Pittsburgh. We've got Valorant up for you guys all today.
Yeah. We're actually having an interesting game this time. We're having not one but two games at the same time. We've got both our gold and our academy players playing today, and yeah.
We've got Point Park Academy or the green team starting off here tonight, which I believe they're getting into their first match now. And then in about 30 minutes, we've got the gold team will start their match.
Hmm.
And this is actually going to be the first game for our academy team. And we'll be lock their characters in already here on Haven.
Yeah. So today's an interesting day, isn't it? I'm just noticing that since this is their first game on of the season, where we'll really be able to see what kind of they're made of, right?
We'll really be able to get to see what they can do here today. It's their first game for the school for every single player on the team. We've got D3ND, The End. We got Angel. We got Melon. We got Lawless. And then we got Colin Kendall. All of which are rookies here.
Yeah. So on we'll be starting with Haven on the map. So this time around, they'll be playing actually defending on this first game.
Yep. And although they aren't playing this game, we do have Daystar, Utami, and Muzzled Yeti 40 or Aiden on the bench, who might sub in the next couple games. Both of them were on the team last year. However, they've elected to just take like a backseat role this year and give these rookies a chance to shine.
Yeah. Alrighty. So it looks like we're splitting off pretty fair. Got a even split among both A site and C site, with a couple lurking in B site, keeping it to hold. As while Albright is seemingly going to be pushing towards A. Eh?
Looks like they have all 5 players stacked over on the A site. They use the Cypher Cage to cross, and it looks like they're all heading down into sewers.
It's going to be an interesting push, especially towards the beginning of the game and pistol round. You really have to push together to really be able to make some genuine plays here. So it'll be interesting to see how Point Park University responds to that.
And they storm out, but the flashes mess up the push. And Colin gets the first pick. Angel follows it up with one of his own before Lapis gets Angel.
Okay.
Colin also manages to take out Lapis. D picks him off, and it's just Cypher, but Cypher gets a nice double kill. Cypher in a 2v1. 1v1 now. Might get the 4K clutch.
We'll see if Colin. Oh,
Oh my,
wow.
that was disgusting.
The way that flick occurred is like, oh my gosh, I just wasn't expecting that one. Oh my goodness. So unfortunately, that means that Point Park University lost the first round of the game. However, that doesn't really change much. That doesn't really change how Point Park University could show. Uh,
hmm They just need to try save this round and hope they can win on the third round.
hmm
But it's early in the game, sets the tone of the game with a nice win for Albright, but there's still time. Plenty of things can happen. And it
Yeah.
looks like here they're electing to go for a bit of a default with 3 players and the spike over on the C site.
Yeah. All right. So we're also looking at a sort of scenario here with how all of the having green team being all new. It's interesting to see whether or not they've really created a team balance and effort together through before even beginning this fight. I mean this game.
And Melon does get spotted by the Cypher, able to take him down. That's a big pick. Obviously, that Cypher's the one who clutched up for them last round.
Yeah. We'll see. Looks like they're pushing into a garage here.
And they don't clear the corner.
They don't.
D gets taken out, but does a ton of damage. 3 members
Yes.
of Albright being taken down to very little health.
Playing some split here. Recon of Silva into the C side, allowing them to get some information. Pushing back Point Park University. Let's see if they'll be able to push back and reclaim. That's a nice kill with Colin on the. Silva.
And Tenebris does find the pick on Angel, but Melon and Colin playing together get 2 picks of their own, and it's just the ISO 2v1 with no health, sitting in Cubby.
All right, we'll see if they can kind of play him out. Very nice.
Colin with a nice 3 kill to answer back after that first round, and that's a big win for Point Park. Proves they can compete, and it means they're on pretty even footing eco-wise.
Yeah, exactly. This is gonna be an interesting one, I think. This will be interesting. So, what about Albright College is going to give Point Park University some sort of challenge?
So we haven't been able to see their team yet this season as they had a bye week last week, but um, they played pretty well so far in this game. We're waiting to see what they do in the future, but we don't have all that much information, obviously, because for both Point Park Green and Albright here, it's their first game of the season.
Mm-hmm.
And here it looks like they're going for another default with Cypher creeping up into the sewer.
Mm. They're playing a little behind now this time around. I think they're kind of waiting for some picks off of the Point Park University, but Point Park University is still playing pretty strong at the other site, not pushing ahead.
And Angel is going to spot that Sova there on A long, electing to back off. And it looks like Spike is still hanging on B despite the rest of the team being over on A. And
Oh,
Angel also spots Cypher, bit of a firefight, but no real damage being done.
some coverage of the smokes.
Lapis for Albright does elect to grab that orb, but it looks like they're rotating over and all of them stacking up outside garage, pushing in slowly. D's playing there. Is she going to be able to find a pick?
That's
And
one.
she does. Ooh, and a huge paranoia takes
That's
out a
another.
second. That's Spike in a good spot, and she's able to escape with her life.
That's a good play by D. D is actually, although Junior is also very new into the competitive field, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. D has been playing Valorant for a long time, but this is their first season for the team.
Mm-hmm.
We also do see Nico there, Lawless, playing off of D really well, and D with a
Wow.
4K.
Nice work, D. So I think that team effort with D and also Colin, I think just the fact that they both peaked out at the same time, being able to just play off of each other, that really was kind of what they needed to be able to get that.
And just a great paranoia by that Omen there, able to blind the entire team, giving them pretty much a 3 kill.
Yeah. Some free kills that need to be. So I believe that's Valorant Green Team is actually on the left side of there, right? That's left side.
Yep, they're on the left side of the facility. We see Valorant Gold on the right side. They're currently just warming up, getting ready for their game.
That'll be an interesting game. All right.
Angel gets run down with all that util on B, and it looks like Albright's going for a fast hit. Melon caught with the util out, but Colin is able to get his trade.
Can they make it? All right. So now that with that control over mid, it's going to be kind of difficult for Point Park University to be able to reclaim what they've lost.
They are down numbers, but
yeah.
they do have a Gecko ult if they elect to use it.
Yes.
D taking a lot of poke damage here, though. And it looks like they're playing slow, trying to get a pick. But, oh my god, Raven finds both kills, and it's going to be Colin in a 1v4. Looks like he's just playing to try and get some eco damage. Takes a lot of damage through the smoke, gets on site, though.
That's
Finds a
one.
pick. Not able to find another.
Oh, can he make it out of there? No, unfortunately.
And he is going to go down to that spike. But he did find a pick, which
Yep.
eco damage is always good if you're going to lose the round.
Very
But
true.
with that, it's a tie game yet again.
Yeah. So, let's see here, actually. I'm kind of curious. So, as their first match, what are you kind of hoping Point Park University like kind of shows? Like what kind of thing?
I'm hoping that they can prove they can work together. That's an
Yeah.
issue a lot of new teams often have.
Yeah.
And it seems like they're doing that so far, but obviously it's still very early in the game.
Mm-hmm.
But we've also trying to see here that like the pressure doesn't go to them since they're all rookies pretty much.
Yeah, it's very interesting to see that even though as rookies, all of them, they're still trying their best to play as a collective, showing that they have their own unique ability. And I think right now they're just kind of trying to get used to really working as a team, you know?
But it is a full-on brawl on the C site here. Picks going both ways, but Point Park only finds that one. The Yoru and Cypher ult came out this round for Albright, giving them a free site, and they used them very well. Ooh, and Lapis gets the nice timing before getting traded out by Colin. And yet again, we find him in a 1v3.
Yeah. All right. This method of play that Colin has been playing, it seems very kind of forcing him into playing these kind of tight positions where he's just by himself. But I think it's just uh,
In an unfortunate loss there, if he was able to get that pick on Yeti, there was a good chance he could have used his ultimate there and won the round.
mhm,
But they shut it down, and Albright goes up 3-2.
mhm. So now we got a new game going on here. We'll see if they can change up some strategy. I think the concepts that they need to really think about right now is whether or not Albright is going to commit to the site or not, because it appears that they've been playing very unsure whether or not they should rotate fully. And
Yeah, and it's a bit difficult with how Albright's playing, as we've seen them play very spread out a few times, but then they had those 2 rounds where they
yeah,
committed all 5 people to one site. And it looks like that's what they're doing again here. All 5 members of the team stacked up in sewers. One of them does get spotted by Angel, but the question is, do they know the rest of them are there?
unfortunately.
A cool attempted play there, but just gets sprayed through the smoke, and that's going to be another site taken for Albright. And they're up 2 players. Point Park's in a pretty rough spot here.
Yeah. Having to play these retakes for the site is going to be very difficult for Point Park University, especially since just playing a retake is going to be against the clock. Hopefully, they'll be able to get some picks off and be able to control more of the site.
Ooh. And Colin does get spotted, takes a little damage, but he probably should have committed to the firefight, seeing how low that ISO was.
Yes.
Ooh. And they just get picked apart on their retake attempt, and that's going to be a flawless round for Albright.
Yes. Fortunate. Wow. Okay. All right. All right. Well, I think visually what we just saw there was another display of just they're trying to they're playing they play away and then they have to push themselves back into a spot that they can take advantage of, and they're just kind of losing those advantages that they can play off of, and essentially making it very difficult to just really regain sight or even control sight.
Yeah, that's one thing I've noticed so far for Point Park. They aren't really doing much of a job of slowing down these pushes,
Yeah.
so they aren't giving their players time to rotate over.
Yeah, by the time the site's taken, Albright still has all members, while Point Park University has lost maybe one or two due to picks.
They just need to like try and stall for time if there's a full hit like that, like use mollies. But Colin finds a nice pick on Solzier here in mid.
Looks like
Right here.
after that little pick, Albright has pushed on,
Right here.
both splitting off
It's
from
you and me.
sewers and mains to A site.
D does use that Omen ult to get to heaven, but Yeti wins the 1v1 against Colin in the ISO ult, and picks going out for both teams back and forth.
Last player standing.
And D, just unfortunate timing there. But it's gonna be a 2v1, Melon alone here.
One enemy remaining.
Finds a pick with some nice aim. The question is, does he know where this Yoru is?
Using a Bolter at some recon.
He does have about 20 seconds until that recon dart is online. But he is low health here, and
Concentrate, Sova.
Yoru does have spike. Not spike, flashes. And he just didn't expect that teleport there, I don't think.
Yeah.
He already had cleared hell, wasn't expecting him to teleport into it. Pretty solid play from that Yoru there.
Yeah. This is some difficult plays for Point Park University to be able to really bounce back from. It seems that Albright's technique, both aggressively and just overall ability, it just seems like they're not doing.
And it looks like Point Park is going to call their first time out here. Probably a good decision, because clearly they need to tighten up their play, figure out a way to counter what Albright's doing.
Yeah, exactly. I've noticed like a big thing with Point Park University. Even though they're trying their best to push as a team, they just don't really have that manpower no longer because before it even begins, the firefight, they're just being picked off one by one.
Yeah, and like they're just giving up picks too early into the round. They're dying too quickly, and it gives Albright all the time in the world to do whatever they want.
Exactly. I've noticed a big thing with a Valorant game is you really want to make sure you milk as much of the time that you've been given, right? And
Yeah.
as a defender.
On defense, your main goal should just be play for picks and run down the clock.
Exactly.
In Point Park, it's just dying too early into the round, these rounds here.
It seems so now that the clock has the timeout has just finished, I believe we will be getting back into the game here shortly.
Yep, and we'll see if Point Park can address those issues we were just talking about. But, interesting here, we do see an AWP being bought on the side of Albright. I believe that ISO playing long with an AWP. Ooh. And he does find the pick, but Melon gets the trade using the Sova ult. That was a nice play.
Being reconned by the enemy Sova's dog. Now he's being placed in position.
Indeed does manage to save his life, but Lapis
Player standing.
teleports up in a really nice off angle, able to find a couple picks. And it's Angel alone here.
Playing a versus 3. Again, we'll see if Point Park University is
Spike
able to
planted.
bounce back and take these picks that need be to be able to get back onto site.
Ooh, and he dashes in aggressively, but a crazy flick from Raven there, just right onto his dome.
That is an unfortunate loss again.
This game, I still think they're close enough that it's still pretty solidly winnable. Point Park just really needs to tighten up their play.
Yeah, exactly. Very much true there. So it seems like the Albright ended up saving that op. So again, I imagine ISO is going to have that ability to really control an entire lane with that op.
Yeah, and it looks like they're electing to do the same thing again here. Have ISO post up with the op on long. We'll see if the same thing happens here. But yep, he's holding that angle. The Omen smoke comes out, but there is a little bit of a gap in it, I think.
I must wait a moment.
So that Silva ult does at least block that operator from being able to take advantage of that entire lane, which did force Albright to rotate from C all the way to B. I think they're going to do a B push this time.
And a Dizzy comes out, but doesn't manage to find anyone. Ooh!
All in with the double.
Clean spray transfer, but the flank from
enemy
that
remaining.
Yoru, they do
Spike
find him,
down,
but
B.
Angel with a double using that Sheriff, able to get it to a 4v1.
That op being holding out on that window. Let's see if Point Park University will play the time just to allow them to just be able to get the another win with some economy on their hand.
They should know there's an op in play, so
Yes.
if I'm them, I just sit here, let time run out, force him to save the op. I don't think it's worth risking any of your
30
econ.
seconds left.
We'll see how they play. It looks like the way that they're smoking that window, they're going to be playing the long con.
And it looks like they did have the read on where ISO was. But yeah, they're doing exactly what I said. Just play safe, let time run out, force the ISO to save, don't give him picks.
10 seconds left.
All right, 8 seconds on the clock. Let's see if they continue with that. And I believe that would be the round.
Thrifty.
Point Park finally gets around breaking that win streak for Albright, as they do manage to thrifty him, which is always nice.
So that leads into a new round now with some nice hopes. They finally got another win under their belt after a couple losses.
And they're finally able to make a dent into that econ advantage Albright had, but ISO still just has so much money, and they still have that operator in play.
That operator is capable of so much control over almost an entire just concept, which is economy and everything. Let's see if they'll be able to take back to that.
Ooh, and it looks like they're going for A here, which Angel, in a bit of a risky spot considering there's an operator in play. The flash comes out, Angel backs up, electing to just try and play safe. Point Park, though, not really rotating over just yet.
Playing very slow here when it seems that Albright is rather pushing hard.
And Angel is just kind of left alone to fend for himself on site.
Yeah, unfortunately, again, it seems that Pittsburgh University is not really doing what we were thinking, where we have to rotate to what we believe, what you believe. Albright is playing at, and it just seems that they're kind of double kissing what exactly is going to happen.
But
However,
here they do manage to get a bunch of picks during this retake. It's going to be a 3v2. D finds another in the corner, and Cypher gets
gets knifed by Colin. Oh my goodness.
He was Gecko ulted, but
Oh, wow.
that's still mad disrespectful.
Yeah, quite disrespectful in this 4-6 difference.
Hey, mental damage. That's how you get your way
Mental
back in the
damage,
game.
That's true, very true. I bet that was a pretty fun little moment for Colin, being able to do a little bit of a knife kill even in a competitive scene.
That's always fun to see.
Yeah.
But with that, Point Park slowly closing the deficit. And we see here, Albright not even having full Vandals anymore. One of them only ends up buying the Bulldogs.
Yeah, and with that full wipe, that actually means that operator's no longer with Albright, isn't it?
It looks like Jet actually picked it up and is holding B site using it.
Yeah, we'll see if,
Or C site, I mean. Lawless with that first pick in mid.
So it appears that Albright decided to push from Garage over to C, though they have been getting picked off while they were rotating on over.
And Angel gets taken out, which means that off is on the floor there. But D finds a couple picks. Picks going out for Point Park all around. And it's left 3v2.
It'll be interesting what Point Park University decides to do this time, whether or not they're going to allow to give them some time. Maybe be able to play a little bit slower this time now that Albright is at a lower player
Enemy
count.
remaining.
And D able to Omen diff the Lapis there, catches him off guard. And it's just going to be this Yoru alone. Creeping up, does find D though.
Let's see if they'll play slow here. They are in the advantage here, although Yoru does have the spike. They do need to play together here.
Oh, and he manages to dodge
30
Wingman, so
seconds left.
Colin doesn't realize that he's posted up on B site. Ooh.
Oh.
And a deep teleport brings him all the way to A.
Oh, goodness.
My question here for Point Park, they now
Spike
know
planted.
Spike's planted on A. Do they elect to grab that op off the floor, or do they just want to keep the rifles? Looks like they're leaving the
They're
op.
keeping it. Oh.
Ooh.
That Yoru ult got some information whether or not where exactly Point Park University is going to be coming in from. Though, noticed
He gets spotted by that recon dart. It looks like Point Park's in a great spot. They have a molly here.
Oh, and Colin misses that molly. Holy.
That is not a mistake you can really afford to make.
Holy.
That molly would have
shoot.
single-handedly won them the round.
And they make that through. And they recover from what that. Oh, thankfully, Sova protecting Colin from the Yoru there.
And they're able to pick up another win. Unfortunately, they do lose the op there.
Yes.
But as long as you win the round, that's what matters.
Yeah, that is what matters. I wonder how Colin is feeling right there. That was a little bit of a nerve-wracking incident there, missing that molly.
But worth noting, Colin is the match MVP.
Oh dear. So, a new game happens. I noticed though, Point Park University is bringing back the difference between Albright and Point Park. Seems
They're
like-
only down one round now, and their economy in a better spot. But if you look, Albright, Lapis, that Omen, electing to risk it all, buying an op.
Yeah, it's an op versus op now. Let's see what who's got the better play with the op. Unfortunately, that Omen has the better play.
And D not able to find the kill on Yoru there somehow. But Yoru, pushing up, uses the flash to back out actually. Point Park is down numbers. Ooh, and here we are getting into the second match.
Yeah.
The gold team kicking off their game for tonight.
Last player standing.
Nerve-wracking. Unfortunately, that Sova is going to be going against 4 other
Spike
players
planted.
here. We'll see if that Sova is able to get some picks off. I think they, logically, they should be playing a little bit more safe here.
And they do get spotted by the Cypher Cam. Not really much they can do here without some miraculous play.
Oh my goodness, that Lapis with that operator shot after jumping onto the ledge.
Switching sides.
And Albright does manage to break Point Park's little bit of a win streak there. Still a very close game, though, as we lead up to the half. Going into what I believe is the last, first round. And on the other side, we've got Gold Team kicking off their first round. Looks like a pretty interesting roster. They're here on Lotus, running Fade, Killjoy, Clove, Reyna, and Raze. The double duelist and Clove is a very aggressive comp.
That is a very aggressive comp. So with this initial round with the pistols, it seems like the Camden County is going to be pushing. Point Park University is going to be pushing hard on C. They might be actually slowing down a little bit though because of that smoke here.
Looks like they're just playing slow, trying to maybe find a pick before they commit to anything. But this is going to be Point Park Gold's second game of the season. They had a very dominant showing in their first game last week, but so did Camden County. Both of them absolutely dominated their matchups. So this is a pretty highly anticipated matchup. And then over on Green Team, lots of picks going out both ways, and it's going to be a 1v2 in Albright's favor.
Oh my goodness, that right click by the enemy Cypher was able to get that kill off of Outlaw, unfortunately, meaning that Point Park University loses the pistol round.
So with that, Albright is going into that second half with a pretty decent advantage. And if you look, Lapis is just straight up buying a Vandal second round. Risky play. We'll see if it works out.
Yeah, we'll see. With that aggressive play there, that does mean that they have a lot of firepower to be able to kind of shut down Point Park University. I'm curious to see whether or not Albright's going to actually play around that.
But they don't know they have it, and if you look, Point Park is just swarming in through Garage, all 5 members. And they swarm onto site, they get spotted, but they're able to find a pick, and Solzier here, very weak. Able to find 2 though. And Point Park just isn't aware of where he is. He runs out of ammo, but oh my god.
Angel with that a little bit of a whiff, unfortunately losing to that Cypher that's been very strong, strong player in Albright's team here.
And they just get picked apart there, rather unfortunate. Meanwhile, over on the Gold team, they actually did win that first round. They'd rotated over to the other side of the map, able to win the pistol. And we'll see what they can do here. Looks like the Fear the Fin posted up with, I believe, a Marshall. Also, I do love that Neon pick on the side of Camden County. It's my favorite agent in the game, and she's very good on this map.
Alrighty. It's interesting to see that the difference between Point Park University and the Camden County, their methods of kind of playing with their utility and everything. Point Park University, very aggressive, meaning they are playing attack right now.
And it
control.
looks like they are going to get the plant down. Neon dashing into sight, but not close enough to get a big shot. That's gun gets sprayed down very low. And is able to find the pick onto Creep, but 2 more kills going out to Point Park. And it's going to be Apple and this Omen here. Boy in a 2v4, and they just get picked apart. That's going to be a second round win for the Gold team.
And returning back to Point Park University's green team, it appears that we've got Point Park University with a 2 against 1. Oh, unfortunately, it's now a 1v1.
And it looks like Melon was able to pick up a Vandal here. But does he know about this flank? He's very low health. His only real option is hope Solzier whiffs, or hope he gets a headshot. But I don't think he's aware. I'm just saying, if I'm Solzier there, I'm going for the knife.
Oh,
I'll
shoot.
find you.
That is true. I believe Celsi was the one that got knifed last time, right?
Need to get your revenge.
You need to get the revenge.
And it looks like the green team is going to call a timeout here, trying to fix something because at the moment, Albright's kind of running away with the game.
Yeah.
Then, over on the side of the gold team, though, they're playing very well so far, although...
We'll see if this is going to stay consistent with throughout the rest of the game here. Point Park University playing fairly slow, trying to make their way through with a couple picks off Camden County before they actually push on the site.
Playing very slow here. Time already running down. Less than a minute left here. All members of Point Park are stacked outside the C site. And the util combo comes out, does a lot of damage, but Reach gets picked off. Does manage to get traded out though.
Okay, some good strength, good push into C site there. Gave them a lot of space here.
Camden elected to just back off and play for retake together. But Point Park in a very solid post plant spot. They've got Finn posted up outside on mound with that Marshall. The paranoia comes out but doesn't really see anything. Ari able to find the picks. Reyna also managing to find one. Ooh, and Point Park is just picking them apart.
That is another win for Point Park University on the gold team. Returning back to green team, we're looking at, seems that Point Park University's little climb back to that 6 has started to dissipate in the second half.
Yeah, so far Camden has just had a dominant showing, Albright I mean, just a dominant showing in this second half. But Point Park is able to push up, get the spike down on the B site, and able to find a couple picks here. Solzier is able to find the pick on Lawless, but Point Park has a big numbers advantage here, although Angel gets timing.
So Solzier once again playing against another shot.
Oh. And that was a pretty impressive headshot there, but not able to quite find it. Point Park finally breaks that momentum. We'll see if they can start their own win streak here, try and make a comeback.
Returning back to Valorant Gold team. It appears that they're pushing on to A site, still in the lead, 0-3, and we'll see if they're able to take this back. It seems like it's playing a little bit iffy here.
And it's gonna be a 3v3 here, but Point Park does have the spike down. However, if you see the KJ and the Fade both very weak, and as we're talking about that, the KJ goes down.
One enemy remaining.
Oh. Okay, so unfortunately, Point Park University could not play as collective as they could, and ultimately got picked off slowly and allowed Camden County to earn that thrifty win.
And that's a pretty big win for Camden. But over on the other game, Point Park playing slowly here, able to find a pick right off the bat. Ooh. And a pretty bad whiff by Lapis. D shuts him down.
Alrighty. Can we see Point Park University pushing back, pushing into east site?
Ooh, but Tenebris does find the spray on Colin through the smoke. Paranoia comes out though. Angel pushes up and just takes him down.
Angel, another one with Sovas.
And Sonya alone as the last one yet again, able to find Angel, but D with another 3K. D's been doing great this game, trying to lead the team back into this game.
Yeah, it's very interesting to see that the group of that group of rookies, that they're really there's occasional moments where they just kind of struggle to work together, but then when they do, it just seems like they're clicking. It's beautiful to see.
In those rounds where they just click, everything feels so seamless. And then over on the gold team, Point Park has just absolutely picked apart Camden. They're in a 5v1 spike down.
Yeah, that kind of seems like a revenge for losing that last round, you don't think?
Although Nish able to find one pick, but it'll be a lot of work if he wants to somehow win this round.
Yeah.
And he walks into the smoke, gets taken out by Extra, and that's another win for Point Park, shutting down the momentum immediately.
Yeah. So going back to Point Park University green team, it is currently a Point Park University pushing into C site pretty heavily, actually. Possibly we might be seeing some sort of flank going on here.
Lawless finds Yeti as he walks onto site. In the crossfire from Colin, just manages to get a bunch of picks there. They played that really well.
Yeah, Albright is now looking fairly weak here with only 2 agents against all of Point Park University. Having that deep control over site, plus the time of the bomb, or spike.
Just a very difficult spot if you're Albright here. If I'm them, I'm maybe trying to play for an exit frag. I don't think it's possible to win this one.
Spike planted.
But
One
we do
enemy
see
remaining.
here, they just elect to back off. Melon finds Omen though.
And that's another win for Point Park University and green
One
team.
down.
Returning back to Point Park University's gold team.
They
One
just kind of
enemy
stormed
remaining.
onto site, find picks all around, get the spike down in its device in a 1v3 with half health.
Launching thorns. Thorns are alive.
Has to use those vines there just to stay alive, force Point Park back.
Yeah, it seems like Vice might be deciding to play it back here. Hopefully, just going to maybe save that weapon
Launching thorns. Thorns are alive.
here. Though that
Wall
Killjoy
tripped.
is going to be playing very aggressively, actually being able to kill Vice, getting another full kill on Camden County.
Over on the green team, Point Park managing to close the gap here, and it looks like a timeout being called, I believe, by Albright. If you look at the game, though, it's a very close match now all of a sudden. D leading Point Park's team pretty solidly, and Colin right behind. D top of the team with 19 and 12.
Flashing.
And then you've got Yoru for the other side leading the roster. So very close scores between those top 2.
Yeah, it's very interesting to see that both Point Park University and Albright, they have their top players, but they're also trying to kind of combine the efforts of all the team members there.
Face
They're
your
really lead,
fear!
Actually, Colin and Todd, right?
Colin was playing very well at the start of the game. Not to say he's not doing as much now, but he's playing off his util
Spike
more
planted.
and setting up his teammates.
Exactly. It's a matter of playing together. It's not really about the eliminations. It's more just being able to play together as his team and having that impact to ultimately get the win.
And it seems like Point Park gets the plant down on C-site. The fade ult comes out to try and force them back, but Point Park playing it pretty well. Nish finds a pick with the shorty, and now they're set up in a big crossfire. They do manage to half the spike. Are they able to stick it?
Thrifty.
And yes, Camden able to thrifty Point Park. Lots of picks going out to both sides, but they were able to stick the smoke, or spike through the smoke. Able to pick up a second round there.
Going back to green team, we're going to be seeing some interesting play with Albright, where they're being kind of picked off actually by Lawless.
Very close round here. Gonna be a 2v1. Spike is down though, and there is a Sova ult up on the side of Point Park. Coming out here,
Nice.
and Lawless playing off that Sova ult, able to find the pick. Bringing the gap to only 1 round.
Yeah. Again, I've noticed with green team, the first half, it seems like they kind of struggle with that pistol round and a couple of games forward, but they kind of work and retrieve their economy throughout the game and be really able to push themselves back up there. So hopefully they're able to keep that momentum and not only surpass and win that game,
But very close game. Creep explodes onto site on
Spike down
the other side. Able to find a kill with the ultimate, but picks going out for both sides, leaving it 3v3. Never mind, 2v3. Apple finds the pick on Reyna. Point Park electing to just rotate off, maybe try and get the spike down on C. Find a way back into this round.
So we're going to be playing very cautiously here. Point Park University is going to have to figure out alternative way. I think they rotated over to C. They were able to get a pick off on Vice, so now they have full control over C, while Camden is pushing over.
And it looks like just over on the side of green team, very even round. Point Park is down a player, but still very winnable. Over on gold, it's down to a 1v1. Fear the Finn versus the Yoru there. Finn wins it. They managed to clutch that round up.
Again, every time Camden County seems to get that win, it seems to be shut down immediately by Point Park University. It's very, it's very unique to see that like Point Park University really not caring about the loss and just pushing forward.
Almost feels spiteful. They're just beating them down after each round.
Exactly.
Then, over on the green team though, D passes 20 kills, neck and neck with Tenebris on the other side, both with 21 kills. D with a slightly better KD. And then right behind D is Colin with 17 and 14, same amount of deaths, but D just playing very well here. And then, worth noting, we do have a bottom frag duelist here, Angel 9 and 17. But as long as you're getting traded, you are getting value.
Exactly. So we're actually going to be seeing another gameplay here. Point Park University's green team trying to push up onto Seaside, while on gold team we've got Point Park University gold pushing, trying to figure out whether or not they're going to be pushing C, maybe pushing a little bit slowly.
And it looks like green team does elect to back over to the B site. Picks going out both sides, though 2 members of Point Park were caught out, but they were able to get traded very quickly. And then over on the gold team, Point Park able to find the plant, but they are down the arena.
So focusing more on Point Park University gold team, it seems like Point Park University is being picked off just slightly. However,
Finn gets the nice double kill to put the round solidly in their control, but Finn,
finishing it off.
that
killing Yoru.
was interesting. Yoru not able to get the kill there despite Finn being completely unaware. And then Point Park does lose that last round, and it looks like they're going to lose here, which is going to put Albright onto match point. Point Park needs 3 in a row if they want to bring this game to overtime.
Overtime's a little nerve-wracking, don't you think?
Oh, definitely. We've seen some crazy overtimes here at Point Park. We had one last year that I believe went to 18-19 final score. That was a crazy game, but hopefully Point Park is able to get those 3 wins, bring them back in. Then over on this team, Point Park just solidly in control of this game, up 5 rounds at the moment. And it looks like they're going to be using that bait ult to storm onto C. They love this site. But oh my god, Aegis finds 2 quick picks shutting down this push.
Point Park University having to play a little bit more cautiously now that they're lower on the agent scale here. Camden County, they might be pushing a little heavier. Oh!
Ari gets a nice double, and Creep finds his 1, and that's going to put the round in Point Park's favor.
See a victory off of Point Park University gold.
It's going to be a 1v1 now. Ari versus this Omen. Not Omen, Yoru. Yoru's very weak, able to find Ari, but whiffs yet again.
With Point Park University winning that gold match. Going back to green team, we got Point Park University holding the spike, using Colin's ultimate to be able to get a clean kill and dodging that operator by Isa.
But it is going to be Colin 2v1.
Oh my
And he gets shot through the dizzy.
Dizzy.
That was a crazy op shot. With that though, Albright is going to take a slight win for game 1. Unfortunate loss. Point Park able to make it a very competitive game, but just slightly got edged out. Meanwhile though, over on the gold team on this Lotus, gold team very solidly up still, just beating down Camden every time they manage to get a win.
Yeah, it's unfortunate to see that Point Park University green was unfortunately lost that first round. However, they still have the ability to bounce back, take it home.
Retrieving flash.
There's at least 1 more match, and they'll be trying to see if they can force a game 3.
So back at Point Park Esports Gold, we are now looking at a again slow push into C, because they do love their C site here.
And it seems like they've been doing very well on C, so why bother changing it up if it's going to continue to work?
Exactly. Taking it slow. Yoru actually being heavily damaged here. So is Fade of Camden County.
but Moonlight able to sit creep down when he was trying to lurk up on A. Point Park, though, bringing most of their team over. And we see this Reyna creeping up,
30
gets
seconds left.
seen by the Vice Wall, but they're able to find a number of picks over on the A site.
Park University with a one-man lead here. They have semi-control over A site.
Stealing sight.
Planting now.
Spike planted.
Ooh, but Boy is able to take out Extra the moment they get the spike down. Gonna leave it 3v3. Point Park does have the health advantage and spike though, so they are still in a good position for this round. The Yoru ult comes out though.
One enemy is ready.
And Ari with a nice shot, and that Reyna there finding their own pick.
That Yoru really trying to play, really trying to distract Ari there, but unfortunately was not able to do that. Thankfully,
Last
Point
round
Park
before
University
the
was
switch.
able to just bounce back and finish that one off.
They played that very well, and some nice shots by Ari there. Able to pull out a 3K, and it looks like Camden County is gonna go for a timeout here, which makes sense. They're down pretty big.
Yeah, it makes me really want to mog. So honestly, what I'm seeing here is Point Park University, regardless of whether or not they're gold or green. Unfortunately, green did lose that first round, but they kept fighting back and really showing that they had some potential in there that they just had to refine.
I think Point Park Green does look very solid for their first game, considering all of them are brand new players. So I think with a bit more polish, they could become a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, I agree.
And then we obviously see Gold Team just dominating this performance so far. And to be fair, this is kind of what we expected after how dominant they were last week. But what I didn't expect, Camden was also very dominant in their first game. So it's kind of insane how strong Point Park showing has been so far.
Yeah, it's very good to see that Point Park University's gold team is really showing that they have that potential, they have that capability, they are strong, and they can definitely show themselves up against Camden County.
And currently up 9-2. If I'm them, I'm trying to win this last round to avoid the 9-3 curse.
The dreaded 9-3 curse.
Not ready yet. Not ready
Hear
yet.
that one.
And it looks like a big fight over on the seaside. Point Park loses 2 players, but able to take out 2 on the side of Camden. Although Ari taken down to very little health, but they are able to take a free A site, creeping up into the defender spawn.
Point Park
You should
University
run.
is able to take advantage of this control over A site.
It does seem like they might have wasted that Killjoy ult though, using it when no one was really in the vicinity.
Though again, it is. Oh.
In the timing for creep, turns around at the exact wrong moment. Boy able to take him out. However, Point Park does have that Clove ult. They could make a clutch. Ooh, and Ari with the
that
shorty. Still a 2v2. Extra gets taken out, but is going to use that Clove ult, quickly respawn.
Let that pick off to be able to take it out. Another beam.
That was a nasty headshot right before the Omen Paranoia hit. Able to find the pick.
Therefore, Point Park University was able to pull it back together and win that next round.
That was very intense, but that was our 2 most clutch players. We saw Ari last game, had a dominant showing in game 1 last week, putting up, I believe it was 21 kills.
Yeah.
With only 4 deaths. It was a ridiculously dominant showing. And then in game 2, we saw a very similar performance from Extra. And so those 2 in the clutch, not surprised they won.
Yeah. It was very interesting to see that Point Park University, between that last game and this game, I'm still seeing an improvement that they keep like improving and growing.
And they have a very solid team. Ari, a very long-time Valorant player. Finn, the new rookie they picked up. Also, just a very skilled player. And then their team captain, Creep. I believe he was former, like, Ascendant or Radiant or something at one point. So
whoa.
he was incredibly good at the game, and he has not declined that much since he's in these last years. Also, though, Point Park Green is going to be looking to kick off their second game here. Currently, they are on the Agent Select phase, going to be going into a game 2 on Ascent. Ooh, but over on the gold team, they just pick apart Camden, going up 11-2. Such a dominant performance.
Very interesting to see. Point Park University gold team truly showing a lot of beneficial just advances, especially with the pistol round.
They're putting on a clinic right now. And then over on the side of green team, they're on the draft phase. It looks like an interesting comp, the Chamber, the Jet, and we see a Deadlock, a very uncommon pick. Point Park going for a more traditional Ascent team lineup. But I'm very interested to see what Albright's looking to do here. Deadlock, not a pick you see often at all. Much less on this map. But I love to see it. She's one of my favorites.
I do love Deadlock. I do want to main her a little bit. I do have fun playing her. Anyways, returning back to Point Park University's gold team. It seems like they are holding A site, attempting to push back Camden County here.
Camden is up a player, but Point Park in a good spot. Extra spots, Aegis. Not able to find the pick, though. Finn able to get a double kill, though, bringing it up to a 3K. Finn lethal with that Ares.
Finn is showing some major advances here. Really showing like the oh my
Almost gets the
gosh.
pick through the wall. And they do know. Finn with the 4K. Oh, gets taken down. Not quite able to get the ace, but Extra able to get revenge for his teammate. And that's going to be 12-2 in favor of gold team.
That is a beautiful advantage for Point Park University gold. Hopefully they're able to finish that off in this next round here.
Over on the green side, though, kicking off the first pistol round, we've got Point Park on the attacking side here. And it looks like they are going to be subbing in Muzzled Yeti, or Aiden. He's one of their subs. He was a sophomore. He played on the team last year. I'm interested to see how he can play with this new roster.
It'll be interesting to see what kind of changes in team comp occurs.
Able to find the pick there, but Solzier putting on a show there, able to get 2 really nice kills. Point Park has the spike down, but they are down 2 players. Yeti finds D, gonna be Yeti alone. There's a Yeti on both teams, huh?
There is a Yeti on both teams. I thought Yetis were supposed to be rare.
We've got Muzzled Yeti versus Normal Yeti.
So,
it does look like Albright is going to be taking that first round, however. Meanwhile, on the side of gold team, it's a 1v1. Ari, in the post plant, does dodge the Vice Ult. And on Killjoy, one of the best post plant agents in the game.
Ooh, that was a nice headshot, which means that Point Park University gold team has taken home the first win of the 3.
With a absolutely dominant showing there. Hopefully they can keep that up into game 2, end it quickly. But they're looking just as dominant as they were last week.
Wow.
That was an absolute clinic in how to play together, how to play a clean game of Valorant.
Yeah, like I imagine that Point Park University's teams, they communicate out of the love of Valorant, and I hope that the both of them communicate, because I think that green team would be very beneficial if they just communicated and learned about how.
I do know the green team is being mentored by Creep, who is the team captain of gold team, and that's exactly who you want to have mentoring you, because obviously he's a ridiculously experienced player. Although over on the other match, Yeti, the green Yeti, getting a 3K on Chamber. D only able to find 1 before Yeti takes her out for a 4K. Point Park just gets picked apart there.
So unfortunately, Point Park University green team with a, I think, 0-2 now with the scores right now. We'll see if Point Park University is able to change that up a little bit.
However, they are on their buy round. However, Yeti electing to full buy an AWP on the 3rd round. I mean, to be fair, Chamber is probably the best agent for opping in the game, but still, third round op is kind of disgusting.
Yeah, I wonder if Point Park University's green team is going to catch up on that one.
They do spot the op, though.
It's been taken down by
That was a
Yeti.
beautiful play. They forced him to look at the drone, and then Yeti teleported up top. Point Park able to find 2 quick picks to open up the round.
Yeah, that loss of the operator is going to be very beneficial towards Point Park University's fight towards regaining that economy. Because again, last game, it was a game of losing that first bit of economy, and then they regained their...
As long as they can win this round and keep the op out of the hands of Albright. However, it is going to be a 4v2 in Point Park's favor. 1-for-1 trade taking place on site. Going to be Solzier in this deadlock here. Both posted up in heaven. They find the pick on D before Angel gets the trade. Interesting bit of a fight there. But it's just going to be Raven alone in heaven in a 1v3 post plant.
Angel playing. We'll see what we can do here. Point Park University gets it home.
Able to take home their first round of the game and
Melon.
collecting that op.
Taking that op. Now they have the economy of that operator really being able to play it. I believe I just watched Melon give that to Angel. Now with Angel with that operator, we'll see what kind of performance Angel has with it.
Point Park, though, in a solid spot here, although Lapis this time buying an op on the side of Albright. So we've got an op on both sides. Looks like we might have a Jet v Jet op duel in the mid.
We'll see what who's the better operator.
They do spot each other, but both of them missed their first shot. I almost accidentally said in a mid lane fight. Been playing a bit too much League.
It appears that our Point Park University has pulled away from that mid fight. Meanwhile, Albright's Jet is still holding strong on that mid lane.
Point Park playing very slow here. Looks to be waiting for this smoke to drop before committing to anything. Although it looks like they're going to be rotating all the way around through spawn here. However, they are going to be running into the Jet, who's repositioned, and Deadlock with all of her util set up on B.
Yes. It seems like this rotate might be the beginning to an end, especially towards Point Park University's, Albright's utility control of B site.
And they do trigger all of the Deadlock util, so Albright is going to know Point Park has rotated. The question is, can they hit the site before Albright rotates over? Doesn't look like it, as 4 members of Albright are now stacked up here.
Jet just the enemy Jet just lost their operator and also Point Park University. However,
And it's an all-out brawl, but Elevate with a deagle. Able to find the gun on the floor, though. Is he going to be able to clutch this? Ooh, no, the flank from Yeti. He was not prepared for it.
Point Park University ends with that one again. Fortunately, losing that operator, meaning Albright has control over the operator again.
And it looks like they're electing to give it to Yeti, who so far has been the best player in this game. The Yetis actually are the best 2 in this game so far. Muzzled Yeti leading Point Park with 5 kills, and Yeti leading Albright with 6.
Yetis.
Yeti v Yeti.
Yeah. I was about to make a pun.
Point Park stacking up over on the A site here. However, Omen for Albright teleporting into a interesting off angle here.
Angel checking that little cubby there. Cleared.
And it looks like they're trying to hit the site. Angel dashes onto site aggressively, but does not expect Tenebris in that corner. Picks go out for both sides, but Point Park loses the exchange, now in a 2v3, and Albright has control of that spike. D able to find the kill onto Yeti, though, thanks to the help of a Sky Flash. It's definitely a winnable round, but with the op on the board, they've got to be very careful. They're also out of Sky utility, so there's not really much they can do to force the op off of an angle.
Point Park University trying to play this through.
Ooh.
Got the chamber who was holding the operator. Now with a 2v1 of
Remaining.
But
1v1.
Solzia
Spike planted.
deletes Melon with a nice head tap, and it's going to be a 1v1. D doesn't use the util there. She had a turret. She had her ultimate. She could have played off her turret there.
Unfortunately, Point Park University loses that one.
But that was a close round. Very, very close. Point Park here, though, still down solidly, trying to find a way back into this game so far.
I'm hoping I'm hoping to see some sort of change for Point Park University's green team.
However, they're forced onto a bye round here. Bit of a rough spot to be in, down 3 rounds already. Econ is in a rough spot, and there's still an operator on the board. Does look like they're going to try and switch it up here, though, electing to go for a bit of a wider default. Probably a solid option due to how they've just been getting picked apart on these 5-man pushes. So, looks like they're playing for some amount of map pressure this time.
They're playing very slowly here, trying to be able to get some picks off before they decide to push on to, it appears, more likely B site here. Though they've split themselves fairly thin here, hoping to find the perfect moment to strike.
Yes, 3 members of Point Parks posted up on a B site, but D lurking all the way on A. Ooh, Yeti finds Tenebris in mid, sits him down with that Guardian. Angel gets taken out by Raven, though. Melon caught crossing mid. Point Park just gives up a couple picks. Unfortunate way to lose the man advantage they just gained.
Point Park University is going to have to figure out these and rectify these really game-changing mistakes that they've been making.
Yeah, it seems like they're doing the same thing last game, where they just give up too many picks too quickly, and it lets the other team just run away with games.
Ooh, D just nearly dodged that chamber op. We'll see what they shall do now. 10 seconds remains, unfortunately.
Enemy remaining.
D getting distracted and getting shot down by that deadlock.
And Raven with a 3K, putting Albright just solidly in the lead already. Just a rough position to be in for Point Park. Alright, we also have word Point Park Gold team is getting into the draft phase for their game 2. Which is going to be on Sunset here. We also see the green team electing to call a timeout, find a way to change their strategy, see what they can do to try and get back into this game.
Yeah, it's a little bit nerve-wracking to see that Point Park University's green team struggling to really push themselves back up. Even after that first game, I was hoping that they'd be able to kind of determine what their mistakes was prior and maybe change that.
However, the gold team, locking in Sunset, they played this map last week, and they put on a very good showing here. They are changing up the comp a little bit, adding in that Phoenix pick, who I believe is very solid on this map. We also see Ari going back to that Yoru, and Ari was absolutely dominant on Yoru last week, including on Sunset. So I think that's a very solid pick.
So we'll see how that Valorant Gold team goes. But right now, we'll see what Point Park University's green team shall be doing this time.
Yeah, trying to see what adjustments they've made since this timeout, and if they can just find a way to close this gap. I feel like the name of the game for them is just trading each other out and not giving up 3 picks.
You should run.
But looks to be playing for a B hit. However, they're going loud, and they've already given up so much information. However, the ultimates come out, so they should have a free site here. Although the lockdown is going to be taken out by the Sova ult, which kind of shuts down Point Park's plan. And they just get picked apart on site.
Point Park University trying their best to...
But Angel and Yeti, nice picks back to back to back, able to put Point Park back into the lead in this round. Now they just need to play a clean post plan and not throw away their advantage.
Got this Omen on Albright's team, slowly pushing in.
Angel sits him down with a 3K. And Elevate, able to find Lapis. Point Park finally picks up another round. That's what they needed. That's exactly what they wanted coming out of a timeout.
Exactly. I think that timeout might have been the play that they needed to really talk about what they been struggling with. And I think now after that timeout, they have the capabilities to really change things up and change the tide of how the game's going.
Yeah, over on the gold team though, in this pistol round, it's a very close round, but Point Park just gives up a couple quick kills there, giving the favor to Camden, who are able to edge them out and just slightly win that first round. Camden wins the pistol for the first time in the series.
Yeah, it's a little nerve-wracking to see that Point Park University's gold team losing that pistol round. Normally they been winning that.
To be fair though, ooh. That should have been a collat. But Yeti just lethal with this operator. However, like I was saying, last year we did see this Point Park team struggle quite a bit on pistol rounds. However, they would recollect themselves afterwards and hit their stride. But so far they've seemed to improve their pistol gameplay quite a lot. Then, over on the green team, Point Park down a player in a 4v3, but if you see, that Jet is very weak.
Yeah, it's very close to see how the placement of all these characters and where exactly they're going to be going for the next couple games here.
And then over on the gold team, though, the spike gets taken by Camden. They managed to find the person carrying it. However, Creep able to find a pick. So Point Park, despite not having spike, able to get picks as that Phoenix there gets a double kill, one repeat shot of the Outlaw. And does get spotted by Wingman, so he is going to be taken out. However, gets traded immediately, tying the game 1v1. And Melon, pretty bad whiff, but able to find the kills anyways. With a nice 3K, Point Park is pulling themselves back into this game. Melon with a nice clutch there.
Yeah, Point Park University's both green and gold team really showing up and really changing again, showing that they kind of doing stuff that they're trying to change.
I was scared for a moment there when that first like half the Phantom magazine missed, but he was
Yeah.
able to get both of them with the remaining 12 bullets.
Yeah, we're really seeing some sort of change here. Point Park University's gold team being able to even though losing that initial pistol round, winning the second round, really tying up that economy. Meanwhile, green team picking up some pace here.
Yeah, and if they can keep this up, they might be able to find a way like to tie this game up. Then we see Sen, which finds a first pick onto Moonlight there. And they do, just able to find more and more picks. Able to get a 3K before being taken out. And Point Park, just dominant performance in this round, wins 4 players still standing.
Again, Point Park University's gold team, even though they lose one, they get angry and they really show that they are not to be messed with, and they just win 2 times fold. It's great to see.
Yeah, and Sunset is a map they're very confident on. I think they can do a lot of work here. Over on the side of green team, Point Park just trying to continue to close this gap, and it looks like they finally managed to break the eco, forcing this team here onto a save maybe. Although it looks like they're playing around ultimates. Chamber not buying, instead using that Chamber op, and Deadlock looking to go fishing with her ult for a gun.
Returning back to Point Park University's gold team, we're going to watch as they're pushing and picking off Camden County one by one. Unfortunately, Point Park University is suffering from 1 loss here, but they have control over A side.
And it does look like the green team is going to be paused temporarily, so we'll be focusing on the gold for a moment. Point Park does get a couple, give up a couple of bad picks there, going down into a 2v1. But it's Ari Cast, one of the players we've known to be very clutch. However, it looks like she only has a Bulldog here, so we'll see what she can do. Did she see Moonlight there is the question.
Really being forced to push up ahead here, unfortunately. That Spike trying to regain that during the time that they have left.
30
It looks like
seconds
she's
left.
trying to fake as if she's going through Hall, but I don't think Camden is biting it. They use Wingman to clear it out. She commits the second flash to the same fake, though.
20 seconds on the clock. Can Ari...
Unfortunately not. Moonlight with a nice kill there. Tying the game up yet again. This one's shaping up to be a much closer game. However, it's still very early. There's a lot of time for a team to pull away. In Point Park, still solidly in the lead econ-wise. We see Finn electing to go for an Odin here, where some members of Camden can't even full buy.
It's really interesting to see. Point Park University Gold team here really showing some difference in play here. I've noticed compared to last game and this game, they've been playing less.
Cutting through.
Like,
Not ready yet.
It seems like it, however, they were playing pretty slow a lot of rounds, just playing for picks and then committing. It seems like they're trying to do that again here. We do see Ari looking for a pick on the B site before teleporting over to A, which that's a big advantage of why you can play Yoru, those super quick rotates.
got a close game here. Point Park University split fairly thin, but
Not ready yet.
And
Retrieving.
it's gonna be Amin finding that first pick onto Gecko, opening up the A site for him. But it looks like instead they're faking A. They got that pick and are now just gonna rotate off. As 3 members of Point Park are stacked upon mid, and Amin with a big flank, able to find a second pick. Does get caught reloading, not able to find another. And Nish finds Finn before getting traded by Ari. It's going out for both teams back and forth, but Ari gets a nice double, putting the round solidly in Point Park's favor.
Spike planted.
it's interesting to see. Let's see if Point Park University will be able to catch on to the boys. And unfortunately, Ari is down with the Omen pushing.
However, Point Park's still in a very good spot. They have 2 players, they have a Clovalt on the board, so essentially they have 3 players. And boy is running out of time to get the fuse, and Extra gonna take him out, putting another round win on the board for Point Park.
Let's see. Point Park University again getting killed. Getting the win. It's really hot in this room. Oh dear.
It's the struggles we go through for this team, but we're always here to support Point Park, no matter what.
Point Park University. We suffer so you can enjoy it.
Finn still has that Odin from last round. Let's see what he can do with it, because he was popping off with the Ares last game.
Yes, it was very crazy to see Finn playing with those LMGs.
And we see there Finn staring down Creeper's creature with the auto. I think Finn might have wanted that, but he is going to find a first pick, wallbanging the raise, and then Amin finds his own pick. We're solidly in the lead in this round, up 2 players and has the spike down.
Player
Ari with the judge gets a nice double again. We were talking about this last week, but Ari, known judge fanatic. She even has an account designated to only using the judge. So Ari's elite with that gun. But Point Park solidly wins that round, and it looks like Green Team is back off pause, looking to see if they can continue this comeback.
So back to Point Park Green, what do we see here? We have a Albright at 5 and Point Park at 3. Unfortunately, Point Park not winning right now.
And then it's going to be a 1-for-1 trade. However, there's a big flank coming from Albright. However, I don't think he spotted it. However, they're going to have to cross that turret. Ooh, and Yeti misses the shot with the operator before the Silver Dart forces him off the angle.
They push pretty heavily.
Does Point Park know about the flank, though? I think they managed to sneak under the cam. But D was lurking in the corner with a double kill before getting taken out. It's a 2v2.
Last player
Awesome change.
standing.
That Yeti,
And the last player is AFK.
Awesome change. That Yeti, 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 that Yeti
apparently still having technical difficulties.
30 seconds left.
And Point Park is taking the chance to put the plant down.
And and I guess that means Point Park University's green team is going to take that win there.
To be fair though, Albright has already used their tech pause. So
It's very interesting to see what is going on.
Where are
Albright's
you?
not doing
Last player
issues
standing.
that
You had your fun.
here.
I mean, we've struggled with it here at Point Park before. And then over on the gold team though, solidly winning yet another round. Point Park beginning to look exactly like they were last game, just putting the beat down once they begin to
Exactly.
get the slightest bit of a lead.
1 loss equals 10 wins for us.
Pretty much.
It's great to see Point Park University's green team, gold team, apologies, gold team, really playing together. It's beautiful to see that even though occasional losses occur, they still bounce back. And I can only imagine what kind of emotions they're feeling. Very happy.
And in this game, we see Amon leading the team by a pretty big margin with 11 kills already here. Putting on a show so far.
So again, this time Point Park University is going to be playing towards mid this time.
And Creep doesn't clear his corner and gets caught in the back with a Bucky before getting traded out by Amon here. So it's going to be a 4v4. Point Park does have the guns advantage as they've just been so dominant that Camden can't really afford any real weapons.
So again, now with Point Park University, with a tide of agents from both teams here, they're playing pretty middle right now. Hopefully, we'll see if Camden's going to be playing force.
And Amon
player
with a double
standing.
kill, and then Extra finds one of her own. Point Park just already in a great position for this round. Ari finds the last member who is hiding out in market. Point Park takes another win, and they're beginning to pull away with this.
Very nerve-wracking to see that the occasional loss of Point Park University's gold team, and then just suddenly change. However, again, we're back with green and gold teams returning to these.
And it does look like Point Park did win that last round. They brought the difference down to only 1, able to close the gap solidly. If they can keep it going, they might be able to go into the half in a tie game.
A little bit slow here.
D does find the first pick of the round though, able to take out Lapis in mid. However, do they know Chamber is on Cat? Ooh, no,
Ooh,
Chamber
but Chambers
elects to
actually
just
going
walk
to
back into spawn.
be slowing.
However, he is coming back,
Take
and
that
he is
pick.
going to be able to find Elevate, and that puts Point Park in a rough spot as the spike is down in mid now. But picks going out for both teams, and it's going to be a 3v3. Melon not able to save the life of the Omen there. Point Park down 2 players.
Spike down. B.
3 here. Ooh, and it's going to be a 1v3 as they just were not expecting Omen to be in main.
We'll see if Millen will be able to pull this one out.
30
He's
seconds
done it
left.
before this game, so I'm not out of hope just yet.
Taking it slow. Has yet to actually plant the spike. Playing it slow here.
Might be smart, maybe fake that you rotated. Oh, but makes the noise.
Taps it a
Ooh,
little.
able to sit Tenebris down, but he's watching Heaven. He doesn't know that nobody is Heaven. However, he has the Seekers. Does Alex not to pop them? Ooh, but all the
Decides
util
not to
comes
pop
out.
them?
I think he could have won that. However, he had to get out of that corner.
Yeah,
He
that-
was just caught there against the deadlock trap.
Spike
That
planted.
corner was very unfortunate. The deadlock track definitely decreased the chances for that win.
If I'm him, I think I try and play around either Hell or the boxes there and use those cabbages, use that Sky ult.
Yeah, that Sky Ult really would have changed the tide of how that game was going through.
Camden using this Gecko ult here on the side of Gold Team, not able to find anyone with it. However, they are up in numbers.
Last player
And
standing.
they sit Finn down as he walks through smoke. Finally able to break Point Park's win streak. But from what we've seen, Point Park might bounce back even harder after that.
Exactly. It's gonna be interesting to see Gold Team pull that one out. Meanwhile, in Green Team, they're setting themselves up for an A push here.
Yeah, they have all 5 members, and it seems like they have the right read as only 2 members of Albright are on the side here. Tenebris, though, playing in an aggressive angle, trying to find a pick of the smoke. It looks like he might be electing to just die and try and get a pick, but it...
Spike down.
Oh! And Point
Oh
Park pushes a second before the Killjoy ult goes out, and they give 3 picks to the Omen. That was a major misplay from them.
Enemy remaining.
And then Yeti just caught out in a
Down
triple
A.
cross angle. Melon alone in a 1v3 yet again, not able to do it. Point Park,
That is a very
it's beginning to slip again.
It is about to slip. That was a very interesting difference in play, though. How the green team was very aggressive that time, using that that Killjoy ultimate. And I think the biggest, just unfortunate part was just that Omen with that shotgun.
I think Point Park just got a bit too greedy. They pushed like a second before the
Just a
Killjoy
second
ult went
before-
off.
Exactly, and that allowed that Omen just to get the 93 kills.
That was absurd and just an unfortunate situation. Over on the side of Gold Team, Point Park is up a player here, and it looks like they're going to be going for a plant on B. Over. The Vice ult does come out,
Face your fear!
and Ari just caught by so much util, not quite able to get the kill, but Finn is able to trade her. And it's just a
One
big
enemy
brawl.
remaining.
Creep does find Apple, and it's Finn with a 3k with that Odin. One of those kills coming with a classic.
Yeah. Again, with Point Park University losing one, winning another. We'll see if Point Park University is going to continue doing that lose one, win multiple kind of thing.
I mean, if they keep it up, it means they're going to win, so I don't see why not.
Yeah.
Over on the side of Gold Team, though, Point Park is in a 4v4 currently, all stacked up in mid, all members of both teams. And just for your information, the Gold Team is on a timeout real quick. So, over on the green side, Point Park gearing up to try and get onto A, but Yeti sits the other Yeti down with that op. Point Park is able to get onto site, might be able to get the plant, but D plays to try and get a pick, not able to get the plant down because of it. And Spike is now in a pretty bad spot. Elevate
Player standing.
gets taken out by the Sova ult. Melon able to find the pick though. Melon yet again in a clutch.
Yeah, again.
I don't know why we keep somehow leaving Melon in these clutch situations in Tenebris, able to win the round. That is going to be, I believe, the last round of the half. Point Park
Switching
going
sides.
into the second half at a 4-round deficit, which isn't the worst that could happen, but it's definitely not a situation you want to be in.
Exactly. It's going to be interesting to see Point Park University's green team try to push back from that second half. Hopefully, new half, new beginnings, and that.
They do have a team comp, though, that is pretty well suited to defense, so they might be able to make it happen.
All right, switching back to Point Park University's gold team. It looks like Camden is.
And they aggressively push out of A main, but they end up only going 1 for 1, and they invested a Raze ult, which might not have been worth it as they only found 1 pick. So Point Park still in a solid spot, and they have the spike over on B site where only the Vice is.
Be a moment to plant. Oh, however.
Playing slow here, trying to find information as both teams seem to be completely cutting noise.
Taking their time, slowly pushing up.
Oh,
One's
but
down.
Almond does push up a bit too far and just gets caught out by boy. Fight beginning on B site. Ari is able to back out before that wall comes
Time
up.
to jump.
Creep does find Aegis over on the other side though.
An interesting game. Both.
Rip and tear.
I'm out of stuff. 30
Both
seconds
teams
left.
in close matchups here. Point Park solidly in command of his pistol round on the green team side.
Interesting. We've got Yeti actually
Spike
hiding in
down,
walls.
B.
12 HP, so just a right click would probably end in blue. Oh, he is hiding. Maybe,
Sorry, little guy.
green team won't
However, it is a
One enemy
1v4 and he is on offense, so he can't just sit there and wait. Omen teleporting out there, escaping with his life.
It'll be Ari. Ari did not got headshot by the Vice there.
Unfortunate loss for Point Park there, as Camden
No.
is able to take a round
Not
win.
while I'm.
But on the other side, Point Park winning their first round on defense. That's a pretty good sign.
That is a very good sign. With that win, they'll be able to have that some sort of economic advantage here to be able to push and hopefully keep a momentum going with victories.
Exactly.
Very nerve-wracking to see Point Park University's green team. It's sort of a teeter back and forth between playing like a unit and then playing individually and losing these picks.
That's one thing. I feel like they just need to work on playing off each other, which it'll come with time. They're all new. This is to be expected, having some difficulties working together. But if they can just keep working on it, they'll be golden. Ooh, but Elevate spotted with the silver
Down A.
drone, not quite able to get the second pick, going 1 for 1 instead. Unfortunate, however, if you see Chamber very weak now, so Point Park is in a pretty solid spot. Yeti taking out the other Yeti. And also the deadlock, putting Point Park in a good spot in this round. Over on the gold team, Point Park is absolutely dominating in a 5v2 turn.
Point Park University's
One
birds
enemy
have
remaining.
actually taken another one down and another
Sweet
one,
dreams,
meaning that they
asshole.
won another game.
And now they're only 5 rounds off a win here.
Switching
To
sides.
lead them to the next half. Meanwhile, Point Park University's green team actually ended up getting that win, even though with that rocky little beginning.
Point Park looking a lot better on defense so far. As they go into a bonus, they have a lot of weapons to work with. They have a lot of money to work with. They're in a very real spot to make a comeback. Then,
Apologies.
over on the other side, going into this half, Point Park, gold team up 4. And going into the pistol, I think if they win a pistol, there's a very real chance they can just end the game off it.
I agree with that. If they get that pistol round, they genuinely can just take that home with the economy that they've been given and just end it all. Hopefully we'll see that on that side.
And
Meanwhile-
Elevate does spot all members of this team, hits a nice shock dart, but just gets run down by Yeti. Melon spots them though, able to get a nice bit of chip damage. And let's just back off, try and play for their lives. Over on the gold team, Camden is able to find a couple picks, so Point Park is down in this round so far. Creep able to find a pick though. It's still definitely a winnable round. However, Almond gets caught out, which is
One enemy
unfortunate.
remaining.
And it's gonna be, I believe that's Creep alone in a 1v4 on this pistol round. Not a great spot to be in.
Maybe we'll see Creep being able to at least get some picks off before heading out.
And he's able to find one.
Unfortunately, that wingman had concussed him to the point where he was not able to get that kill. Meanwhile,
And then over on the green team, just a number of picks going out for both sides. E though, alone in a 1v3. And Albright's able to take another win right back. Point Park though, down 3, definitely winnable. But they can't really afford many more mistakes. And it looks like they're going to call a timeout specifically to address that, to try and make sure they don't make any more mistakes.
exactly. It's interesting to see that Point Park University's green team, now that they're in timeout again, hopefully they can discuss what they really need to do. And again, I think we discussed this already. It's just they need to work together.
Yeah, I think they have the potential. They just need to work on making sure they're playing together, making their chemistry better.
So back at Point Park Gold, we see actually a very interesting kind of split here with Point Park University kind of playing as they're defending and Albright trying to push towards mid actually.
All 4 members of Camden here have
Gun here.
actually shifted over to the mid lane, mid part of the map. But it is a 4v4. Ooh. But Extra just caught in a 1v3 gunfight. Not really much you can do there with a classic. Ari though finds Boy, but
One
he gets
enemy remaining.
Aegis gets their ace stolen.
I'm out of here.
Oh.
Gun here.
Another ace has been stolen. Sad to see.
We've seen a couple 4Ks, but no aces tonight. But Point Park struggling a bit, the gold team on this defensive side here, which, to be fair, they are playing against the Neon, who's kind of just running them down right now.
Yeah. So returning back to Point Park University's green team, now that they're out of the timeout, we're hoping to see that that timeout was exactly what they needed to be able to just talk and discuss what exactly they needed to change to be able to just rectify the 3-point deficit.
It's still a winnable spot to be in. They just can't afford any more mistakes. Every mistake they make closes the window to come back. And so they're just looking to play as cleanly as possible, make as few mistakes as possible.
Elevate holding that angle. It seems that Albright's actually playing kind of slowly. However, just distracting for the entire purpose of pushing onto B site. Now that they have control over that, we'll see what they'll do here.
And Albright is going to get that plant down on B, but it is a 5v5. And Angel's going to find the first pick of the round, winning the Jet 1v1 in mid. D finds a pick of her own. Point Park in a solid spot here. Lots of util come out, but that Silver Dart is big. But Yeti with a double kill, and it's Solzier in a 1v5 situation, able to find the first pick. With 30 health, though, I don't know if he'll be able to do much.
Ooh, and a waste of an ult, unfortunately.
That's unfortunate. But big win for Point Park. Yeti there getting a 4K, or 3K, I mean.
30 seconds left.
Then over on the gold team, Point Park solidly in command of this round. But
Spike
with aim
down
like that,
B.
not for much longer.
Oh, dear, that was a whiff I've never seen.
You don't really expect that from Creep.
One enemy remaining.
Unfortunate, kind of nerve-wracking move, but it doesn't matter anyways because Point Park University's gold team was able to strike back and be able to defend.
Alright, with a 3K with the Guardian. In my opinion, the best gun in the game. Guardian meta, baby.
Guardian meta. Actually, what we noticed here, Point Park University, now with that win, again, that they're focusing on trying to close that gap and really be able to just avoid the mistakes that they've been making. They've been able to get a win, and we're hoping to see that this will continue onwards. Oh my goodness,
But
Melon.
Yeti, with that chamber op, able to just sit down Melon. But they do get his trade. Point Park still in a solid spot, 4v4. The op is off the board.
This frustrating little loss of a player there.
And Yeti with the pick through the smoke still has all of the util.
Taking their time here.
I think he did see, but he has a paranoia and he isn't using it.
Spike down A.
They know that the last person is actually underneath. They're
I think
checking.
they do. They're checking it. Ooh, they know now. An Angel able to trade out Yeti.
Last
Also,
player
something I'd
standing.
like to point out. This is only the second time in Yeti's entire career we have seen him play something other than Reyna. Last year, he played exclusively Reyna except for one game as Phoenix. And now we've seen him shifted over to Omen, something so vastly different. Which, I'm happy to see him branching out. However, the utility usage isn't quite there yet. As we saw there, he died with everything except one smoke having not been used.
Unfortunately, what we saw there in Point Park University's gold team, Creep was forced to save his gun and allow Cambry County to be able to take home another win. Hopefully, they'll be able to bounce back and again be able to just continuously get those kills.
However, on this green team, Point Park's brought it down to only 1 point difference. However, Yeti, just with the op yet again, going back to it. Sits down Angel in mid, putting himself up pretty big already. We'll see, can Point Park win this round? They're down a player, but if they win it, they tie this game up.
It appears that they were originally planning to push towards that tree. However, I think they pulled back and going to be pushing towards mid instead. D holding that in. Can they get two? That's two.
D finds two.
Three.
D finds three. Almost finds the fourth. D goes huge there, though, to put the round in Point Park's favor.
We'll see if Point Park University's green team will be able to take advantage of that. Now, wonderful play by D.
If I was out there instead of in here casting, this is where I would be yelling, "That's my duo."
Standing ahead.
But now a 3v2 in Point Park's favor. However, the spike is down, so they've got to make a play. However, no post-plant utility for the side of them. Ooh, but the kill with the op is big. Elevate trying to sneak up here.
Last player standing.
And Yeti with a 4K. Don't give him the ace. You cannot give up an ace here.
One enemy remaining.
Finds one. If Yeti gets the kill. Ooh, and Yeti
left.
able to get an
One
ace. That's the
enemy
first
remaining.
ace of the night.
Unfortunately, even though D was able to get such a beautiful spray, a couple kills there.
That one was just tragic. Yeti absolutely lethal with that operator. Oh, however, over on the side of the gold team, Point Park picks up another round. Currently, only 3 more rounds off winning the game.
Oh, it's very nerve-wracking to see this.
This one, much closer game than
Yeah.
last one.
Very
It
much
seems
so.
like Camden was like, alright, this is our elimination game, we gotta lock in.
Yeah, I think I noticed that Camden County has changed the strategy up just enough to be able to really put Point Park University on their
Spike
head.
down.
No!
A.
Did Ari just... Ari playing off the clones. Ari's absolutely disgusting with it. And Point Park up big in this round so far. And they're just picking apart Camden for the flawless. That was disgusting.
They're here to finish it off.
For a second there, I thought Ari got the neon with the fake clone. I do know Ari has done that in a game before. So I thought she brought it out again, but apparently the clone even fooled me.
So we're now at Point Park University's green team. We got a slow start here.
Angel holding this corner, trying to catch if someone pushes through. They definitely hear the jet on the other side. Barely not able to see him in time there, though. Point Park playing very far back, trying not to give up any picks. But it does look like Albright is going to just be pushing onto A site. However, Melon gets the first pick of the round, opening it up for Point Park.
Well, in Point Park University's gold team, we see that Point Park University has gotten quite a few picks off.
One
leaving
enemy
only
remaining.
None, actually, with a flawless victory.
That's
But
back-to-back flawlesses. They're
that's
geared up to
back-to-back.
just put this game away.
That is one more game that they need to take it home.
They're ready to go home.
They are ready to go home and to be able to cheer on.
Ooh,
Green
Yeti
team.
with a double kill. Point Park up 3 players and a Killjoy ult is out. This should be a 3-round win for Point Park. Yeti with a 3K, and it is just...
Oh.
Are they gonna save him? I can't lie, if that was me, I would have let Melon die.
I would have too. That would be really funny.
But Point Park able to pick up a round, bringing the difference back down to 1. And then over on gold team, match point. Can Point Park put it away?
Very close to see here. Point Park University's gold team with 1 win away. Can they make this happen with this last game here? This last round?
And then we do see a timeout on the side of Camden for the for the green team. Finn, first blood of the match, and Creep popping that Raze ult to ignore the Vice ult. Picks going out both sides. Raze ult's coming out both sides. One side. I totally said the wrong name there, but Nish gets
One
found
enemy
by Extra.
remaining.
Finn takes that boy and Apple alone in a 1v2. Can they clutch it up? Game on the line.
Here.
They know where he is.
There.
And they're playing slow.
Player
Ooh,
standing.
in the 1-for-1 trade,
Defenders
Point
win.
Park gold team takes home their 2nd win of the season with a dominant showing here tonight.
It's good to see that Point Park University's gold team was able to pull out another win here. Comparatively, this did give them a little bit more trouble than usual. It's good to see that Point Park University has some.
They are off
competition out there.
to a great start in their season. Ari has been dominant. Finn, Extra, and Almond have all been great additions to the team, and Creep just being a great veteran leadership role there. And they're playing so well together. Now,
You want
Point
to
Park
play?
green
Let's
team
play.
looking to do the same thing here.
It's very close right now, actually, to see that Point Park University has brought themselves up. Unfortunately, with that
Angel losing the op duel, sadly. So, Point Park down a player, definitely a winnable round, but they're running out of time to do anything.
nerve-wracking.
There's very little room for mistakes at this point. They need to just play perfectly, or else the game is going to slip out of their hands and they're going to lose the series. They need to win this to drag it to a game 3. Point Park just playing back, waiting for Albright to make the first move. And it does look like Albright is going to be going to this B site as they have 3 players stacked up there. The other 2 are in mid lane. I keep saying mid lane. However, they're playing very slow here. Point Park just waiting
30
Albright
seconds left.
looking to go for a last second hit. The Omen teleports onto site though, and they have site control. D though, with a nice lurk in the corner, finds two.
Kill.
And it's gonna be a 2v3 though. Melon,
Melon gets that kill.
That one was
just
tense.
A little nerve-wracking, however.
Elevate
good work.
finds Yeti. It's gonna be a 2v1, however, there is an ultimate on the board that's amazing for post plants.
However,
Ooh, and a bit of technical difficulties here for a
occurred.
moment.
I'm hoping. What we s-
Unfortunate.
Oh, okay. And we're seeing some interesting things. We're hoping to see that Point Park University has done it, though.
Hey, they do win the round. Barely. That one was close. Melon, low health, only player left alive. But they tie it up.
Come back to a tie here. It's going to be very interesting to see if Point Park University can change the tide, change what exactly was happening here with that loss. But now we're at tie.
Such a close game. Point Park has done a beautiful job of staying in it. However, still a good lead for Point Park, finally in lead econ-wise. However, Lapis buying an op again. They really want to put this game away.
Careful here.
It's really bad in here. All right. So I'm seeing some interesting things here, actually.
Four members of Albright are stacked up on A. The Jet was holding mid with the op, but doesn't find anything. Now going to join the rest of their team. The Skydog does come out. Ooh! And Yeti with a nice pick through the smoke off of that recon arrow.
See some movement here with Point Park University.
And it looks like Albright is electing to rotate since they gave up a pick. They're trying to find a foothold somewhere else in the map. Angel, though, lurking in this corner. Does Albright clear it? Ooh! And Albright
Spike down.
loses two players there. They know Angel's there.
Now
And he updrafts over the wall.
Updrafts. That was a very risky play there, trying to get
Ooh,
the
but
updraft.
Solzia finds two. Gets hit down to 7 HP, though.
Oh.
Ooh, an Angel almost dies to the shock arrow. Forced to move now out of fear of a second one. But Point Park does have man advantage,
30
and
seconds left.
both Angel and Ozia are very, very weak.
Be very curious to see if Angel's lack of trigger discipline there would is going to change.
I think maybe if he waited just a second longer, he had 3.
Yeah, he would have had all three of them in this place.
However,
However,
there's no time left for
10 seconds
Albright.
left.
The only way they can win this is if they get 3 kills in 5 seconds.
yeah,
So it looks like they're just electing to save the guns.
which means Point Park University is finally ahead in the game.
For the first time in what feels like 10 rounds, 12 or 20 rounds.
It's good to see some change.
2 more
here.
rounds. If they can win just 2 more, they can force a game 3.
Let's hope. Taking it slow here. Point Park University, Esports, green team. Now that now at 11 to 10, we'll see if there's going to be a change. Again, Point Park. What's it called? Lapis does have the operator here compared to. Yeah. So we'll see what will happen here. Though that operator can be deadly in mid lane.
You started saying it now.
What is it called then?
Mid.
That is the same thing.
Mid lane's League of Legends.
Oh, it's the same thing. It'll be bad if we start calling it top and bottom lane for A and B.
Ooh, Elevate though finds the first pick onto Yeti and 10 of a shot in the foot. Elevate
Spike
with a
down
double.
A.
Solzia able to find the other Yeti though. Point Park has numbers. They. Ooh, never mind. They no longer have numbers.
Unfortunately, Melon was unable to get that that head pick to that Sova, which means now that Point Park University and
This
Albright are at
Sova
a tie
here, Solzia, has just elite aim.
Yeah, Solzer has been playing such a great game,
And
it's-
then Lapis finds the pick on Angel. Point Park down numbers now in a kind of a rough
Player
spot.
standing.
And D gets caught by Raven. Elevate in a 1v3, and they get spotted. Not really much they can do here. Spikes down 1v3.
Elevate, I think, is going to play to save this round.
Probably a smart idea. I don't think this round is very winnable. Ooh,
Oh.
he does get spotted in mid, but they
That-
both elect to back off. It's not worth risking the operator.
Nah, look at that. Now that Point Park University's gold team is won, they're going to be cheering on green team.
And now they have a whole roster cheering him on. There's so much hype behind them.
Beautiful
But
to see.
tied 11-11. Such a close game. This one might go to overtime.
Very nerve-wracking to see. It's going to be interesting, though. Overtime's going to be very... it's hot room. Point Park University, you got it. Get it the win.
But Point Park just trying to close this one out, force a game 3. Playing very careful here.
Placing swarm grenade.
And it does look like Albright also just playing slow, defaulting. They have 2 members on mid, 2 members on A, and 1 over by B. Point Park, they're just not pushing, not getting aggressive. The Sova ult comes out, and all it really did, though, was hit Almond, Angel, a single time. The Recon Dart comes out, misses. Although Yeti finds the pick on Elevate. Melon gets his trade. Ooh, and a huge Sky Flash. Unfortunately, doesn't manage to get the pick, and Sorzio and Lapis both find their ones.
Now Albright with full control over the site. We'll see if Angel will be able to get some picks off of that little
Ooh.
jump there.
Goes for a really nice off angle, but just unfortunately the timing is not there. Barely misses Raven's dome right there. And it is D and Almond in a 2v4. Can they make a miracle happen?
Last player standing.
Angel goes down, Sorzio goes down, and Albright has taken back the lead. If Point Park does not win this round, it's game, it's series. So, all Point Park can really do is try their best right here, right now, to force overtime. However, look at their econ. Yeti, their top frag, isn't even able to full buy. Most of the team can't full buy. They're on light shields. One of them's on a Spectre.
It's
Not the spot you want to be in when you're when you're risking elimination.
Comparatively, we've got Albright with such a full buy, including an operator. So, and that operator I think has been been just held on for quite a few rounds now.
At least like 3 rounds, because they have been lethal with that.
Scanning ahead.
However, we do see Point Park has some ultimates on the board. Getting a beautiful view at our facility cam right now.
Yeah, thank you. I believe.
Ooh. 1-for-1 picks. Elevate finds 2. Puts Point Park in the lead. Is he able to find the pick on Sorzio? He's not. Sorzio, very weak. Angel finds Yeti. It's a 2v3. Point Park's favor. Angel clicks on Lapis's head. 1v3. It looks like this is going to go to overtime unless Sorzio can make a miracle happen.
Very tight game. Soulzier has been playing such a great game in these past, in the last round and this one. So we'll see if Soulzier is going to keep that up here.
However, just not a great spot. He also doesn't have Spike. Spike is currently sitting outside of main. Soulzier inching up, gets spotted by the Killjoy turret, nearly dies to the Killjoy turret. Angel with a 3K to bring it to overtime.
Oh, overtime has begun.
In this one, such a close game. Point Park desperately trying to force a game 3.
Overtime now, meaning that all both members of the group they will be able to full buy whatever they need. With a little nerve-wracking idea that Point Park University can actually have the chance to push themselves up.
And it looks like Tenebris electing to go for the evil option here, buying an Odin in overtime. However, none of them going for the most risky play. I'm honestly a bit surprised Yeti isn't buying an op here.
I agree with that. It's very interesting to see no op in this play. However, we'll see what actually will happen, especially with that Odin, right?
Mm-hmm. Tenazir, the Omen over for Albright, has an Odin in play. Also, Solskjaer just so dominant. 28 kills right now. And then followed by Yeti and the other Yeti, actually, both tied with 25. The Yetis are neck and neck.
Yet I'm not seeing a difference in either of the teams.
Ooh, and it's a big hit as they explode out of sight. And Point Park gets tons of picks. Yeti finds his one, but gets sat down immediately.
Goodness.
And it's Solskjaer in a 1v4. Point Park in a great spot. D is going to be spotted here, but able to get a good bit of damage on Solskjaer. If they just play for trades, they should have a 3-round win here. They're in a great spot.
Solskjaer again being the last person alive here, trying to play their way through and be able to take just small little picks here.
But if there's anyone on Albright I trust in this situation, it would be Solskjaer. He does spot Angel, but if Angel just swings, or not Angel, ooh, Angel is found in heaven. Albright gets the kill,
This is not looking very good for the fact
and he's
that
sticking it.
he's gonna stick it.
No
Oh
way.
my God. The spike was placed in not the best place for
Why was the spike planted there?
the placement of that spike
Switching
was
sides.
entirely just
Match
not
point.
for them.
And with that, Solskjaer reaches 31 kills. He nearly has a 3 KD right now.
Oh my
Counting
gosh.
KDA, he has a 3 KD. Solskjaer, dominant performance. In Point Park, just they should have won that. That round loss was blatantly inexcusable.
Yeah, I can't believe the way that happened. It's just the fact that that spike was placed just behind the dice.
The way they lost that round reminds me of the New York Knicks. But Point Park needs to win this. Force double overtime. It's their only chance. However, they were good on defense. They are on defense now. And it does look like there's a bit of a wide spread for Albright here. One player on B, 2 on mid, 1 on C, and I can't quite see where the other is right now. It does look like they are also over on A, actually. Yeti and D inches away from each other. And just both teams playing slow, playing careful. Neither wants to be the one that makes that first mistake. Ooh, but D getting slowly closer. Angel almost got seen by Yeti. Yeti playing just so careful. This is such a tense situation. The clock running down. And D swings it. Finds
D gets the
Yeti.
kill.
That's a huge pick. That's the second best player. Albright is going to elect to go for a hit on B now. Solskjaer finds Yeti, though.
Solskjaer really
30
holding
seconds
strong, really being the person
planted.
that's like controlling all of this.
He's being the man for his team that they can rely on. But Point Park has rotated over. D is on the flank. Spike goes down 4v4. Deadlock is low. Sova is half. Such a tense situation.
Yes. And with this,
And D finds Tenebris on the flank.
notice that D actually is 1 kill away from getting that.
Not going to get to use it. Angel dashes in, finds 2 picks. Melon gets the pick, and they're going to bring it to double overtime.
Oh my gosh.
my.
Double overtime begins. The excitement that I can hear past the wall of.
We see Creep emoting out there.
This is a very exciting game right now. Very close, very tense.
Wait, is Tommy playing right now?
Ah.
Tommy playing on the Elevate account. I did not realize he was playing this game. That one is entirely my bad. Tommy, one of my friends. I'm happy to see that he's been doing very good here.
So, I actually don't know who that is. However, I can only imagine that Elevate here, no longer Elevate actually, because that's not actually their account, right?
I don't know. Either that or he changed his username since last time. But double overtime, Point Park they need to close this one out. We can't have another like 18-18 game.
Another 8.
Lapis gets spotted, somehow doesn't go down there.
It's very nerve-wracking to see. The last time Point Park University was at attacking in that unfortunate setup for site.
And they smoke it off to push up. Raven is weak, but able to find the pick on Angel. That's bad. That is a bad pick to go down.
With Omen holding inside of that smoke with the Odin. We'll see if What the?
Both of them actually sitting in the smoke. The crosshairs on the head.
Interesting. Oh!
Ooh, it elevate, gets the pick. Yeti barely teleports out, barely escaping. D finds Lapis though, and it's a 4v3 in Point Park's favor. And they have the health advantage. They have the man advantage. They're electing to just run over to A, and looks like they're trying to get the quick plant. However, Yeti also rotating over to A. Such a tense situation. I think Yeti was
30
spotted
seconds
in the
left.
window. The smoke comes out. The recon dart comes out. The plant is going to go down. Point Park in a good position. They are up a man. They have the spike down. D finds another pick with the lurk.
Very nerve-wracking to see here. Point Park University up in the ups right now compared to Albright. However, they do have plant down, and they are going to have to play this smart.
But as long as Sorzier's alive, there seems to be a chance. There seems to be hope. And they spot Melon, but Melon takes Sorzier down. That's huge. And it's just going to be Yeti. Finds D, takes D down, but with 30 health, can he find a way to make this clutch? No. Elevate, sits him down. Point Park goes up. Match point in Point Park's favor this time.
Point Park University now at an ups.
13-14. Double overtime. Match point. Such a close game. Sorzier with 33 points. Kills. Yeti with 27. The other Yeti with 25. D with 20. They are going insane. Those 4 players are the ones that are defining this game.
Goodness.
And it looks like Albright is going for a 5-man hit on B site. Hopefully, Point Park is able to stall this long enough for people to rotate over. They do have 3 members over on the site. The alarm bot's tripped. Ooh, and D catches Yeti. He gets stunned inside the molly, goes down. That is a huge pick. Angel finds Tenebris.
Spike down B.
Sorzier does find D.
Enemy remaining.
Picks going out. Melon with a double kill. It's just gonna be Sorzier in a 1v3.
Melon with that interesting flash.
And they
However
take down
do it,
Sorzier.
They get it. They win the overtime, meaning that this is now a tie between
And it's
Albright.
going to game 3. That
Yay.
was such a ridiculously close game.
Oh my goodness.
15-13. Oh my god. Before this game, though, we are going to go to a quick break, and then we are going to go to an interview in a few moments. But we'll be back in just a couple minutes with that interview. Signing off real quick. We'll be back.
Hello. Well, it's we're back. After just a little bit of a break here, but right now we're gonna do some. Okay, just because I'm short doesn't mean you have to do. Hold on,
Okay.
let me do this.
Yeah.
Okay, but we're gonna do a little bit of an interview here. Ari, one of our players, played Yoru on Sunset, and who did you play on Lotus?
KJ.
KJ?
Yeah.
Killjoy. Well, Ari, I gotta say, you did a fantastic job
Thank you.
as always. As a veteran of the gold team, you really show that you are one of the two foundations in the gold team. It's really good to see. So, after this very ups game, how do you feel about just overall everything that just occurred?
I mean, we made some last minute comp changes. I was not on the Killjoy as of 2 minutes before the game, but then we figured that out in agent select. It was all good, and we kind of got things going. And then it allowed me to kind of have fun. I just got to jump on the other side of the map and shoot some people in the forehead, and that worked out pretty well.
Yeah, clearly you did do that a lot. You did that a lot actually with I think what did you even get on a Lotus?
I think that was 16-4.
16 and 4.
Which is funny because at the top of the leaderboard, Skylar, I believe, was 17-13. So us two is just so funny that we have almost the same amount of kills and yet so different on the deaths. I thought that was funny.
It's very interesting to see. Actually, to be honest, not only you, but just the entirety of Gold team just performed such a beautiful way. How do you feel about like the rookies, sorry, the newer comers?
Yeah, I mean, if you can kind of average up where everyone was on the leaderboard, it was me and Skylar at the top towards the first map, and then we kind of flip-flopped in the second map, so Amin and Creep were up there, and Finn was kind of just rock solid in the middle the whole time, doing what they do best, locking things down, and I mean, it was fun. We got it rolling. We kind of let it slip for a second there on Sunset, but then we were like, hey, guys, let's just shoot him in the face, and then it worked.
Yeah, honestly, it was beautiful to see that first very big difference in the first map. But the second map, yeah, it was very nerve-wracking to see just a little bit of a difference there, and then eventually you guys did make it up and win. But what do you think happened in that little moment of difficulty that you guys all had?
I mean, we kind of recognized their strengths of their comp at the beginning of the game, and we said, hey guys, they're going to be a lot brawl heavy, and we recognized, but we were starting on attack. So on defense, we're kind of expecting them to retake a whole lot, and we got used to that. So when the sides swapped, we were like, wait, why are they just running it down A every single round? And so it took us a few seconds to be like, all right, we just need to throw some mollies in the way and get a bunch more bullets in the way, and they should have a little bit of trouble. And so
Yeah.
Bucky did his job.
Yeah, you, me, and all right. So me and
Lynette.
Welcome back to Point Park University's Esports down in downtown Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
Oh my
and
God.
with this, we are going to be going into Game 3. Point Park lost the first game. They just weren't playing quite as well together as they wanted. But in that game 2, down big, they had a ridiculously good comeback. And now they're looking to keep that momentum, go into a Game 3. Also, I believe they're going to be making some substitutions. They had Colin playing in the first game. And I believe it was also Nico, and then they subbed in Muzzled Yeti and Elevate, and now they are subbing back in Colin for Elevate here. And they're going to be going into a Game 3 on Sunset. This game determines the series.
It's gonna be very interesting. We have had a sunset gameplay before on the Golds team. Speaking of which, we are now done with that. Finally, we did win. We did win another game, so that's really nice to see. But now that that game's done, we'll have our full focus, our full attention on the green team.
The gold team picked up their second win of the season, and now the green team looking to pick up their first win. It would be a great way to start off all of these new players' careers with a win. And after that last insanely intense game, the final score being 13-15, double overtime, they are all fired up and ready to play.
Yeah, it'll be very interesting to see if that overtime that Point Park University had to go through is going to be kind of like a lesson to teach them, hey, we can't have that happen again. We gotta push stuff forward, and hopefully they change. Unfortunately, Melon did get eliminated by that breach ability. So I believe now they are going to be running back, rotating possibly to A, while Albright is going to be distracted here.
And Point Park is down a player already, which is unfortunate, but they might be able to find some picks here. D, though, gets caught out in a pretty rough spot and just gets ran down by those classics. However, they should be able to get the spike down here. Ooh, but Yeti picked off by Solzier, who's on the Clove this time. Clove's being picked by both sides. Solzier gets a double, and it looks like Yeti takes out Colin for a flawless to start off this game. Not the way you want to start it off.
This is a very big moment for both Albright and Point Park University. These are both teams that have yet to get their first win. It'll be very interesting to see how much drive both teams have.
Yeah, and both teams just locked in. Point Park, though, off to a rough start. Now going into a save, they'll try and get what they can. They just need to not let the game slip out of hand like it did last time.
Yeah.
And, like, obviously, they did come back, but the game was way too close. They don't want to let that happen again. They want to close it out like the gold team did.
I wonder what kind of emotional support that the gold team is giving right now. The gold team, now that they're done, they'll be able to give some moral support for the green team.
And we do see Tejo being played for the first time this season by Point Park. The drone came out there, spotted them, forced them back off that orb. The fade, the fade raise combo is going to take out Yeti and almost takes out D. That's a deadly combo, and it's just unfortunate that they were caught there. However, raise is very weak. Point Park still is in a spot to win this round. They just cannot give up another 3-pick.
Now that they're rotating back, I think Albright has acknowledged the fact, and they will start pushing against that. We'll see if Point Park University is going to understand what kind of moves they're going to have to play to be able to get a couple picks off, so they're able to have more of an advantage after that post plant.
And now they're pushing up to A. However, Deadlock is here. Breach is right behind her. And the Raze, Clove, and Fade are all rotating over. Yeti
Oh my god.
takes out Melon with the Marshall and then gets a collat onto D and Angel before getting traded by Colin. But Colin needs to ace to win the round. I don't know if he's going to be able to do it.
There has been quite a few just unfortunate moments in Point Park University green team's gameplay.
And then Lapis just walking up with the Bucky. Not much Colin can do there, only having a Marshall. And Albright's going to take the 2-0 lead. Not a great way to start the game off. However, they are going to be on a bye round. If they win here, they can start to turn things around.
it's very nerve-wracking to see that Point Park University could potentially fall back into their old habits and start losing what they kind of seem like they rectified during that overtime, you know?
However, they are going to have the gun advantage for this one round as Albright's going in on a bonus. So, hopefully they can capitalize on it, pick up a round, maybe change the, energy of the game.
Speaking of energy, you know, honestly, on the third round now, I am feeling really, really stressed. I am, losing the energy to keep talking. You know, there's something out there that'll probably help us.
And that would be a great sponsor, Red Bull. Gives us the energy to keep up through these long games, gives our players the energy to keep putting in their best. Shout out Red Bull, thank you for the sponsorship. Red Bull
what?
gives you wings.
You want to try popping it at the same time? All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, that was
wow.
nice.
Look at that. Let's take a little sip.
And then, meanwhile, Point Park has picked up the lead in this round. However, Teo's very weak. They do get the plant down, and it is a 3v2 in Point Park's favor.
We'll see if this will be Point Park University's first win of the game here. We're taking slow time. Melon is playing flank coverage, while actually Albright is neither that way.
Both members of Albright playing very close together, trying to take a 2v1 fight, which very smart. However, Point Park is close enough. Ooh, and they get caught by the wingman. Ooh, but Raven somehow just pops off and takes all three of them down with one spray.
This is not looking great for Point Park University.
Yeah,
Albright,
that's a bad start. If I'm Point Park, I'm like,
I'd be trembling in the boots.
yeah, I'm scared. This is a really bad way to start the game off. The momentum is so far against you after that. Like, they should have won that round.
They should have. That is an insane play by Albright. Unfortunately, Point Park University did not end up taking that home. But it's very it's scary to see.
Yeah, Point Park now not on a very low buy, only affording one as Yeti buys a Hero Vandal. We'll see what he can do. He was, I believe, the team MVP last game, barely losing out match MVP to Solzer. Point Park, all 5 members pushing up aggressively up mid, taking control of it, smoking it off, but it seems like they're slowing down now that they have mid control.
Taking their time here, trying to play safely. They did get pulled by the fade grab here, but that they didn't actually end up being utilized. So it's just kind of like a knowledge kind of thing. We'll see what's going to happen here. They do have pretty good control over mid.
In Tenebris, back with this Odin that we saw him buy a number of times last round, just spamming through the smoke, trying to find some damage. However, it does look like Point Park is going to get on A site, but they get caught in the deadlock utility, slows them down a bit, gives them time to rotate over. However, we do see D with a pretty good lurk position.
We'll see if D will be able to push through.
Ooh, but
flanking.
Yeti with a double kill. That is not good. Colin finds one. D
D
with a horrific whiff on the flank.
Oh my goodness. We can really see the morality of Point Park University really showing right now. Point Park University, they keep getting unfortunate losses.
And it does look like Point Park is going to be calling a timeout here. Probably a smart choice after just a very rough start to the game. They need to find a new strategy, find some changes they can make. See what they can do to not let Albright run away with this game.
Speaking of that Red Bull, this is the Red Bull that we popped open here. Very actually, I'm just taking another drink here.
But Point Park needs to change their strategy somehow, because clearly it's not working so far. Albright has come into this game with a commanding presence and is already up 4-0.
Exactly. I keep saying this. It's nerve-wracking, but it really is. It's just Point Park green team really trying to show that they show their first game that they have what it takes to really be up there. It's just kind of
there's so much to prove in this game.
Exactly.
And it's so close. Like, but it seems like maybe something's gone wrong here so far. So that's what they're clearly trying to address in the timeout, because something isn't working right now.
Exactly. We'll see how this next couple rounds go. The timeout has actually ended at this point.
So we will be getting back into the game in just a second here. But Point Park, hopefully those adjustments they're making can help, because if they don't change something right now, Albright might just run away with the game. And that would be such a demoralizing experience. Ooh, and
So-
Yeti breaking out the Dragon Operator.
Oh my goodness. Again with Albright really pushing these operators, which has definitely been showing to be such a like forceful kind of tactic for Pittsburgh University to go against.
Yeah, but Lapis pops that Razor and is able to find Colin. But D able to find Solzier. That's a very big pick. And it's going to be a 4v4. Point Park has site control. And Lapis gets timing by Melon. Yeti finds the other Yeti.
Down A.
And Raven finds D. It's going to be a 2v3. Point Park is down.
Over there.
Nerve-wracking to see Point Park University.
And Angel, they're trying to spray him through the smoke. Ooh, but Melon with the swing, but Tenebris with that Odin is too much of a force. And with that, Albright goes up 5-0.
That's a very unfortunate matter. Just continuous, like one player on Albright's team just kind of steps up, absolutely demolishes Point Park University.
Yeah, so far they've had multiple just hero plays. Raven with that insane 3K. Yeti with those op kills. And Solzier just consistently doing great. If you see, nobody on their team has less than 3 kills, which for being this early in the game is very impressive.
Exactly. It's definitely something for Point Park University to figure out how exactly they're going to be able to just combat these constant hero plays that
Yeah.
Albright is doing.
They do have all 5 members pushed up onto B. It looks like they might be just trying to storm up, get some picks, and take site control, but that's what they've been doing. Ooh, and the Raze fade combo comes out again. And at this point, you have to wonder, how does Point Park not expect it? Because it's happened 3 or so times now. They do go 1 for 1, however, but Point Park took a lot more damage in this fight. Ooh, and now they can't really push out as there was an Odin posted up right outside the smoke.
He's just ready. It's going to be interesting because it's a mixture of both close combats and distance fighting that Albright has control over with that not only the Odin but also the operator, and it's just a double trouble.
I don't know if they still have the operator at this moment,
Do
though.
they not?
At least I can't tell who has it if they do. Point Park rotated over to this site, but they might have went too slow. And they keep getting caught in the deadlock util, and Sosa just gets a quick 3K. Yeti cleans it up, and Point Park is just getting destroyed at the moment. They're getting picked apart.
It's not good. It's not looking great for Point Park University. However, even though that might be the case for Point Park University green team, it doesn't change the fact that we can do something. They can do something.
Yeah, there's always a chance,
There's a
and
chance.
especially when there's another half to go.
Exactly.
But it's just not good if you're down this much. They need to at least get a couple rounds on the half to have a realistic chance at winning the game.
So movement again. Melon just used their Tejo ultimate to clear out that back site. Though they weren't able to actually take advantage of that because of the close cover. However, I think they might need to push. Although that Tenebris is playing really strong with that Odin. However, they did get knocked out by Angel, I believe. Point Park University with a 3-2 in lead right now.
But unfortunately, they've been in this situation multiple times this game, and they've just not been able to convert it to any real wins.
Ooh,
D, though,
could be an opportunity
spots
on D,
Solzier, but just
unfortunately.
taken out. And Solzier
Last
finds
player
another.
standing mid.
Melon finds Solzier, but pops the Clovo, and it's running him down. Misses the shorty, though. 1v1. Melon versus Raven. and
Melon unfortunately loses that round, making it to 7-0 Point Park University.
This is just rough. they're down so big. They can't afford guns. The economy is so far in Albright's favor that they can pretty much afford to just full buy the entirety of the half.
Hell, if you've noticed, Tenebris has already bought another Odin,
Yeah.
which has not changed the, like, this is not going to go well. However, what I'm thinking right now is Point Park University, there's a lot of pressure going on right now.
There's a lot of pressure.
They have the first game with a loss, and the second game with a near victory there.
Where they just narrowly pulled it out.
Yeah.
And it seems like it might have been worn on them too much, as
Yeah.
they're just struggling so much here. And it's not what you want to see.
It's very nerve-wracking. Unfortunately, D getting headshot. Also, Angel by Solner, but got traded out by Yeti.
Ooh, but the deadlock ult comes out, and nobody's able to break it. Yeti finds another pick.
One
Just,
enemy remaining.
yeah.
That's another down.
And Albright's running away with it now. There's not much Point Park can really do for the rest of this half. They have no money. Albright has so much. If I'm them, my goal is just play like an absolute rat, pick up 1 or 2 rounds in this half, and hope you can put on a really good performance on defense.
Yeah. Point Park University needs to get at least a couple eliminations to really be able to say that they have some sort of chance, because the economy of Albright is so strong right now.
They do have 4 ultimates, so maybe they just pop all of them and like force a round into their favor. Oh my god, but they just get caught and picked apart.
down A.
Lapis gets 2 before going down. Solzier swings and takes out Angel, and they're just getting picked apart. The Killjoy ult comes out, but it's going to get broken immediately by Breach, I believe. Ooh, no, actually, I forgot. They did change it due to Fracture. You can't break Killjoy ult with a single
I did
Breach
not know
thing.
that. Oh my goodness.
They changed it like a year ago, but I feel like it should be able to break it.
Yeah.
But
And
it doesn't even matter. They just get picked apart. And they invested a Killjoy ult, one of the best ultimates in the game, into that round. And didn't really amount to anything.
Oh, poor Tommy. He seemed very distraught about that. With his hands up in his head. It's very disappointing to see what is going on right now with such a close game last time.
Hey, the
It's-
dream is you win these 3 rounds and then pray to the 9-3 gods.
Exactly. And hell, again, it could just not be their half.
Yeah, there's always a chance, but the round game is so far in Albright's favor already that Point Park, every round they lose, the slip is slipping so fast out of their fingers.
Yeah, best bet is to be able to get at least these 3, at least take home these 3 wins.
And they get caught by the Raze combo again. Fortunately, no one dies to it, but look at all the damage it does. They keep walking into it. And Yeti goes 1 for 1, but ultimates come out.
Angel, what in the heck was that? It just...
Solzier finds Yeti. Ooh, and a bad whiff from Melon. Solzier finds Colin.
There's a visual just struggle
player
and fear
standing.
that Point Park
I got the
University
spike.
it's not looking great right now.
Blocking sight.
Hopefully something can change. Maybe Angel is able to pull up, do something crazy.
It would need an actual miracle here. This is such a bad spot. A Spectre, 70 health, no shield, and just gets taken down by Tenebris.
This Tenebris and Odin combination, it's absolutely just destroying Point Park University.
Yeah, it hurts to say, but we are watching just an absolute breakdown on behalf of Point Park. The Point Park we saw last game is a completely different team from this one.
Yeah, I think what's going on is just a mixture of just they've been the tensity of last game has just put them in a moment of like just weakness. They're just struggling now, and then on top of that, I think they've lost some like fundamentals that they were able to put together during that overtime. And right now, we just need to see maybe some sort of change, some sort of.
But Yeti does go down. Point Park has numbers advantage at least. Can they actually convert it this time is the question though, because they haven't been able to convert numbers advantage at all.
Solar Playing very cautiously inside of that smoke. We'll see if any of Point Park University caught on to that.
They are going to get the plant down, and they have ultimates. They have Thrash. They have the Clove Revive. They have Jet Knives. If they die, though, without using this, it would be such a waste. Ooh! Although he does manage to get a nice kill on the one with the AWP. But Tenebris finds one. Solzier finds one. And kills going out both ways. But it's Albright in a 1v... Or Solzier in a 1v2. And Point Park picks up a round.
They finally get themselves around, which is very good for their morality. We'll see if they'll be able to keep that momentum going.
Yeah, but there's just no room for error at this point. A single mistake can cost the entire game here.
Yeah, at this point now, Point Park University needs to play very strategically, very strong, just to get that. I don't know
Yeah.
what that is.
Hmm?
What is that above KJ's head?
I do not know, actually. I've not seen that symbol before.
Yeah.
Get out of my way.
Well, we'll see what Point Park University's. Oh, it's no longer there. Oh, it's spectator.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense to you watching.
Wow. Let's just pretend that didn't happen. Oh dear. Okay, back to the game. Point Park University is.
Editor, cut that out, cut that out.
Point Park University seemingly focusing towards B site with actually a Thrash.
The
covering
Thrash
a lot.
and Taeho all come out, but neither of them hit anything. Both were kind of just wasted.
Yeah, we'll actually see if
And it doesn't even look like they're able to reclaim Thrash, though. Which, just unfortunate. D does find one. Angel. The whiff was brutal. But
thankfully
Melon
got
does
saved
find
by
the pick.
Melon, and then Angel was not able to keep that going.
Ooh, but Pick's going out. Yeti finds one. If he can get a gun, he has a revive. Tenebris with the Odin, though. Clove does come out. They revive. The question is, can they do anything? No, they just get ran down by Tenebris.
Ooh, D with
1v1. And D
Yes!
clutches the round.
Yes, D. Congratulations.
That's my duo.
That is another win under Point Park University's belt. Again, as I said before, they're now finally getting some sort of momentum to push with, and hopefully they're able to keep that going for the next couple of rounds.
They are now on defense, which I think is their better half, but there's so little room for error. Albright, 3 rounds off winning it all.
Yeah. Now that they're at their pistol round, this is going to be that moment to see what the rest of this half is going to look like, because if they mess up, if they fail this pistol round, it's going to be a lot to do. They're going to have to do a lot to be able to push themselves up.
They're just in such a rough position. This pistol round probably determines the game, quite frankly.
Honestly, I think that is the very much.
'Cause
I think that's truth.
If they lose this one, Albright gets a bye round, which is very much in their favor. And then the one winner.
We'll see how this goes. Now that they're playing.
Ooh, Yeti takes an aggressive peek, gets forced back. And all 5 members, I think? No, 4 members just running up. Yeti gets taken down by Raven, unfortunately. But Colin gets 2 nice quick kills. Gets a 3rd with an elite flick. And it's going to be a 2v3. Point Park has numbers. Can D get a pick? No, D gets taken down. It's 2v2. Point Park has more health. They just need to play together. They need to be careful.
They need to just play this correctly. If they can play this correctly, they'll be able to get the win on this pistol round.
This is such a crucial round. Point Park they need to play together. They cannot just take a bad fight.
Oh.
And Melon barely doesn't get spotted there.
That could be a very good.
But I don't think they know. Look at the flank from Lapis.
Oh no.
This could be really
Turn
bad.
around, turn around.
It's like I'm watching a horror movie and I can't do anything
No,
to stop it.
no. Oh,
He finds one, but he
Melon.
has so little health. It's 26 health. Does he turn around?
what shall Melon do?
He sees him. Solzier
and
missed.
Solzier is going to make this very tricky. We'll see what's.
Does he stick it?
Is he sticking? Can he make it?
No! He kills him.
He made it.
Oh my.
He made it. It's another win for Point Park University. Now with a 10-3, that means they just won the pistol round, which means they have such a great chance for this next round to get a victory and be able to continue going forward.
I saw I saw his light flash before
Oh
my
my God.
eyes.
I thought that was over. Oh,
I thought it was
oh,
over.
oh my goodness! It seems like there's a switch in play here where Albright had constant hero plays, but this time around Point Park University, I think they're having their version of the hero
Yeah,
plays.
the elite play from Colin there to keep the round in Point Park's favor, and then that clutch. I thought he was the one who died.
I thought so too. It was nerve-wracking.
He could have stuck the spike there. He got off it at the last possible second.
It was hard to say whether or not holding that spike down would have made it in time.
But he won it.
But
That's
he
what
won it.
matters.
That is.
And now the entire team storms up, and Yeti just gets ran down by that stinger.
It's kind of nerve-wracking to see that that Albright actually is pushing really
But
heavy.
D sitting in the corner with a judge. I'm seeing flashbacks to Ari last week.
Yeah, we'll see if we're able to do something with this. Can he make it? Nice,
Finds
that's
one. Point Park does
Oh
have
my
numbers.
That's
D finds two. It's a 2v1.
Alright, 2v1. Can we get this to happen?
They just need to trade each other out. They saw them. I don't think they realized though. But Lapis, low health, half health, 2v1, has spike, might rotate, sitting in market. Point Park is a bit farther apart from each other than I'd like though.
Play very close here now. Point Park
And
University.
Lapis is going for the flank, but Melon has the read. And
Low.
huge. Every shot
Lapis.
hit is insanely important.
Do not
Lapis,
overextend,
one shot.
Play together.
Just play smart. Play
30 seconds
together.
left.
You need this win, Point Park University.
And it looks like Lapis is just gonna go A, but they should have this.
Setting down the
Although
spike.
this is gonna give him the Raze ultimate.
That is going
That
to
could
give
be
him
very
Raze ultimate.
problematic.
They're going to have to be smart about how they play together, not being too close that this Raze ultimate is going to be able to take them out at the same time. However, at the same time, they need to be able to play with each other.
Yeah, they just need to play far enough away from each other they can't get hit by the same ultimate. The Raze ult comes out, and look, they are playing apart.
One enemy
Oh,
He
my
finds
goodness.
Angel. It's Melon
Just 21
versus
health.
Lapis.
Melon,
taps
all he
it.
needs to do is just play it. Oh! Down to
And he
20.
wins it. That was so close.
Very close, down to 21. However, Melon did get the kill and is now defusing.
And they
meaning
take their fourth
the
round.
fourth win. Very close, very scary. Oh my goodness. Albright University, you have a run for your money. You are not going to win this without a fight. Point Park University, we are showing we are going to keep going.
And it
Timeout
looks
began.
like that they're gonna call a timeout. Probably smart. This is the most stressful thing. I think
Oh
they just
my
need to take a
God.
breather. This
Oh.
is so stressful. Every round has had my heart like beating out of my chest.
It's
And I'm not even the one playing.
I know, like it's crazy to see Point Park University. The very beginning of that game, it was so the morale, everything, it just was so down, and suddenly, I can't help but just be like, keep going, keep going.
I'm beginning to believe.
You beginning? Goodness, I'm excited for what's going to come up next.
They
I
just
hope Point Park.
need to keep this momentum going. They
Yeah.
have a chance.
I'm hoping this timeout is a moment that Point Park University is able to reflect on what they can do to continue this crazy like momentum that they've gone. My goodness, I'm excited.
They're making an insane comeback, but each round has been such a nail biter.
Again, we shall turn over to Point Park University's game here. However, we're going to take a little look at the team, and we're back in the game. We'll see what's going to happen this time. I think actually what I noticed is the economy of Albright is starting to fall a little.
Yeah,
isn't
because they've
it?
lost
They
2
could-
rounds in a row.
They-
Ooh! But Yeti, an immediate pick, almost takes D's head off. Oh my.
I'm worried that maybe this timeout was a moment that Point Park University could not have taken because it gave them a moment to just breathe, and that moment of breath just kind of stopped them in their tracks. I'm hoping.
Ooh, and D might be dead here. Yeah, Lapis takes D down. It's a 3v5. Point Park is down numbers. Ooh, but Angel does find Yeti. Lapis finds Melon though. 2v4.
We'll see if we can have some interesting plays here by Point Park University's Angel and Colin. Very close
Ooh,
here.
the wingman comes out.
Wingman,
He gets the
that's
pick.
one.
He does have Thrash. Does he elect
does
to
have
use it is the
Thrash. Will
question.
he decide to use the Thrash to be able to get some control?
And Angel storms out. Flash
There's
comes out.
Flash.
They
That's
find a
one.
pick.
Enemy remaining.
Can they now focus on making sure they
The
can
flash
get that?
comes out. They're running out of time. They have to make a play. Colin taps it.
Hey!
Get the kill.
Now get that! Oh,
Angel
my
with a
goodness.
3K to secure the round. The ult from Colin. And they played that
And
so
now
beautifully.
they are at 10-5. Now that they are continuing this momentum, that is great to see after a timeout.
Life has returned to their faces.
Yes, all of them used. Yeah, that is actually a really good thing to say. Like all of them have really rejuvenated. They're ready to keep going. We'll see in these next couple rounds what Point Park University has in store for us.
They just need to keep doing this again and again. They're closing the gap. This win streak is absurd, but can they
Yeah.
keep it going is the question.
It's scary. I believe after this round, Albright, its economy is going to actually.
Whichever team loses this round will be down econ, but Tenebris finds Angel, and Yeti takes a ton of damage there from that raise grenade, which is unfortunate. They just need to play smart. They need to get these picks.
I'm worried that Point Park University might get overheated and start making plays that aren't going to help the overall team.
Ooh, and D accidentally gives away their position too quickly, and Yeti takes them down. It's a 3v5. This is just such a bad spot. And all 5 members of Albright are getting on B site. They get the plant down, and they're in a incredibly strong post-plant setup right here. This is an incredibly difficult position for Point Park.
Well, it matters right now. It's taking those picks. It looks like Colin is actually going to be playing flank here. See if he's going to be able to.
Ooh, but he doesn't
Unfortunately,
clear his
he does not
corner.
Clear the corner, Colin.
That's
Oh,
the
no.
most basic thing, and
That's-
Yeti goes
and
down.
finally, Point Park University has lost their win streak here.
But they have proven that they can get wins. They have
Yes.
proven to themselves that they can do it. Now they just need to do it again.
My goodness, it's very nerve-wracking. It's again a close game after close game. It's now 11-5, right?
Point Park they need wins. If it goes to match point, there's no margin for error.
Exactly.
This round almost feels like a must win, but Point Park doesn't have the econ. They just need picks. They can't give up these early picks like they did these last 2 rounds.
Park University.
And they push up, and they go 1 for 1, but that's worth it. Ooh, and Colin with the nice angle, only able to take out 1 though. Does get a little bit of damage, but not as much as they would have liked, and Angel goes down to Solzier. It is going to be Melon and D in a 2v3. Can they do it?
Oh dear. We're going to be looking at Solnir just hiding back on that thing. We'll see if they'll be able to spot that. They
But D
did.
finds them, takes them out. Both members are playing back. They have breach ult too, which is a big problem.
player standing.
But Melon finds
Melon.
his. But does he know that they're both
The
behind?
breach
The breach ult does
oh,
come out.
shoot.
Last
breach
player
ult.
standing.
Oh,
Tenebris is very
one
weak,
left.
but there's no time.
D is going to be forced to play out. Dear.
They are running out of time, and there's so much breach utility.
Reach util.
D
Gets
finds the pick,
kill,
but there's no
unfortunately,
time.
There are not enough time.
And it's such a tragic round loss.
And unfortunately, D is also unable to escape the bomb.
It is gonna go to match point. Point Park needs 7 rounds.
7
in a row.
consecutive rounds to be able to get this into an
They need a
overtime.
miracle.
This is one of those miracles. Again, look at if we notice. Oh, actually, never mind. I was about to say that Albright decided to buy an op, but this time, but I think they're actually going to be playing a little bit more safe here with all rifles. Point Park University doing all Spectre because their economy is not looking the greatest.
And this is just such a bad spot to be in. Match point, facing elimination from a game in a game 3, and they have no money. And that Clove just gets grabbed immediately by a deadlock all off rip,
Found them. Bomb grenade out.
and they explode onto site. Yeti gets a 2nd kill. I feel like this might be it.
Don't lose hope, my friend. There's opportunity in any
There's-
situation. Point Park University.
They do have
all
Teo
the-
ult.
Yes.
They have utility. Colin doesn't
Colin,
see him.
no!
and he gets shot in the back. Yeti gets 4.
Oh my
He
God! Are
needs
they
a
going to let?
1v5 ace to win the
going to let
game.
him get the
He
ace
finds
here?
one.
He did prevent the ace from happening. Can he continue this?
Ooh, 1 HP, and he is
And that
going to
is
fall.
the end.
And it is such a tragic loss. They fought so incredibly hard there.
I'm really it's really hard to see that Point Park University with those 5 consecutive wins. It was very
Yeah.
much. I felt the love. I felt the just opportunity that they were trying to put out.
I
and
thought they were going to make the dream comeback for
I
a moment
thought so
there.
too.
But
It was-
unfortunately, Albright is going to take this. They're going to earn their first win of the season in an incredibly close game. And Point Park, although they did lose in their first game, they put on a very strong showing. They proved they can compete. They made an incredible comeback in Game 2. They were on the verge of an incredible comeback in Game 3. If they can just tighten up their gameplay, I think I have hope for them for the rest of the season.
I agree. We'll see what exactly is going to happen with Point Park University Green Team. I think it's actually called Academy, right?
Yeah, Point Park Academy, but Green Team, same difference.
Yeah, same thing. But overall, I think that was a very interesting game to close out, right?
Yeah, so tonight we saw Point Park Gold swept Camden in a 2-0 series, and then the Gold team, just a tragic loss against Albright. They put in so much effort.
They did.
D, Muzzled Yeti, Colin, they all like popped off for their first game, but unfortunately just could not quite squeeze out a win. And they lose their first game of the series. But they are going to be back next week. I believe at the same time. Gold team might be playing on Friday next week. And then I believe we are also going to have League of Legends and Rocket League on Tuesday next week, I believe.
Well,
We'll
we'll
see.
figure that
Schedules
out.
are always
we might
subject
send
to
something out
change.
later to telling about like what exactly the schedules are. And when we get the first meeting, when we get the first stream out there, we'll be able to tell you exactly the plan of the rest of the week.
But that is going to be it for us here at Point Park University.
Well, thank you so much for coming. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream and the amazing games that just occurred today, with the one of our teams winning and the other one having a defeating loss. However, I think that they can grow from that.
Exactly. That's the type of loss you take in and you learn from.
Exactly. Well, thank you. It's Kago.
And Lynette, that's going to be it for us.
Bye-bye.